Welcome everyone to another day of Clash Royale League Asia Season 2. My name is Joel Sophie, and joining with me, I've been with you for a very long time, but we're finally back. I'm with Simon once again, and it's been a long time coming, but we are now at the final day between Korea and Southeast Asia, and at least to put it in the least of words, it's been chaotic.
It has. Some of these games have been absolutely unreal in terms of the skill, the card use, just everything has been insane, and SEA finally looks competitive compared to the Japanese and Korean regions. It's currently 6-0.
Yeah.
That's twice as many wins against Korea as they had in the whole of last season.
I want to ask you this question, Simon, and is this their true form? I mean, is this what we've been expecting of Southeast Asia after these new signings that you put a lot of emphasis upon? And we are looking at all these teams from all three regions, but the main story is going to be Southeast Asia. All four teams, none have a losing record.
Yeah, none of them have a losing record. And as you said, these new players that have come to these teams have completely revitalized this region. Last season, they did not look as good. The only team that did was AHQ eSports Club, who got the 3rd spot, and they actually did pretty well. They started 0-4 and then finished the season unbeaten.
And frankly, they look like the worst region, and no one was arguing against that. If Season 1, talk about Southeast Asia, maybe Brand Esports at the earlier parts of the season, when by the end of the season it was all about HQ, but still, when you have all four combined and you do average out the quality of the four teams when you combine them into a single region, Southeast Asia was easily the worst region that we had out of the three. But what do we look at now? Can Southeast Asia be better than Korea? Definitely. But are they better than Japan? We still don't know. And that's an important answer that we're answering. We were never supposed to say maybe to that kind of a question. Southeast Asia was never close to Japan. But by their standards now, by the way they're playing at these past few days, maybe.
Well, in the interview yesterday with JTV, he mentioned something to me which kind of like sparked off why this region has improved so much. In his interview, he said, instead of being individualistic, the whole of the SEA group are working together, we're scrimming together, we're playing together, which is what the Korean and Japanese regions were doing in Season 1. And that has helped the SEA region to improve leaps and bounds. They are easily the most improved region compared to last season, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop. I think they can take out Japan. But on the screen right now, we're taking a look at Sandbox, who are doing pretty well in the Korean region. They're currently, 3-3? Beaver, Ido, Kani, Sado, Shinchu, and Thunder. These guys have been really solid this season, but they haven't won a game outside of their own region.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I mean, Sandbox, they're looking to get a win, and even with these guys have been performing stellar in Season 1, maybe to a certain aspect better than Kingzone from that first season of CRO Asia. This season has been a little bit mediocre. They haven't shown the sparks of what we kind of remember them from in that previous season. But this is their opponents right here. You see them standing. 4 guys ready to play. It is going to be Kick's team. And we're going to see Dylan, The Rock, Lampo, Dio Stitch, and Martin. You didn't see Martin. You didn't see much of Dio Stitch. So, hoping that we're going to get these other 3 players to stand in line and get ready to face up these games here. But incredible performance by these guys in the past couple of days, and Lampo especially, maybe just the superstar that we've all been waiting for the Southeast Asian region.
Yeah, there was a couple of interviews, and they did the video yesterday where everyone was like, one crown. But Lampo is the one who a lot of teams seem to respect out of everyone, because his first game at the end of last season, he was solid. He was super good. He didn't look like a rookie at all. He just took to it like a duck in water. And like everyone was saying, like it was scary that this new player came in, and just took the game by the horns and just destroyed whoever he was against. I can't remember, it was a while ago. But
I think it was Expo Master. Was his first
it
opponent.
was Expo Master, and he beat
right.
Expo Master.
And you know what it is? You talk about being not looking like a rookie. He was looking better than some of the randoms out there. And we were talking about, you know, what this all represents into as we finally get the entry. Connie and Thunder, 2v2. First Sandbox going to be up against Dylan and The Rock, the most classic that we have for Kick's team. Banning out the Miner and the Tornado, respectively. We're going to get Sato and Lampo for the 1v1, banning out the Poison and the Royal Hog. So this is going to be the very interesting lineup of the players that we've been very much interested into. No Shinchu this time around. He's going to be that 4th player in line, so a little bit surprising not to put him in that 1v1 this time around.
I mean, at this point of the season, teams need to figure out who's going to be good for 1v1, who's going to be good for 2v2. And especially as we're very quickly, actually, approaching the end of the season, right? We're very quickly approaching the wild cards. We're going to be approaching the finals, the semi-finals. They need to figure out who is good at 1v1, and this is the perfect time to start experimenting. You need to try and find that player who is solid, who is going to finally be in your roster when you have to start playing best of 5s, and there are 3 1v1s and then a King of the Hill.
You know what we have found though? Lampo's quite good at 1v1. We don't need to switch him out for anything like that. I mean, we saw Theo Stitch and Martin being in that 2v2 role last time around for Kick's team, but this time just switching it around. Dylan and The Rock just hoping to provide some type of synergy with these two guys working together. But I mean, this guy, Lampo, really understated as to how good this guy may be even in the future, because he's just getting better every week.
Yeah, and a lot of these players are getting better every week. Every game we see is better than the last, and that's unreal considering how many games we play. But just taking a quick look at the stats, Kani and Thunder have played 3 times together. They have won 1 and then lost 2. They beat OGN Entis' Shad and Smokey 1 crown, and they lost to Shun KK for game with, and they lost yesterday in their 2v2 against Jake and Yao Yao of AHQ. Yeah.
So we're looking at Sandbox now and see will they be able to recover from the loss last time around. This is the final day we'll have Korea versus Southeast Asia before we come back for the return of those 2 regions way later in this season. But Dylan and The Rock, they don't want to stop this run. They want to keep this going and want to progress onto maybe a clean sweep against even the Sandbox team that we thought wouldn't get easily beaten out by any team around the league. But now we're looking at Dylan, we're looking at The Rock, and these 2 guys have been around for a very long time, starting from the way backs of the Season 1, and see what they can do. I think we're going to get slowly right into 2v2, and of course, you have some expectation for these guys as well.
Yeah, they've only played 1 game together this season, but they took out Jake and Yao Yao quite easily, 2-0, and they are such a strong pairing together that's why I think they're putting them out now, also against Sandbox. This is their premier 2v2 team. They're going to bring them out against the really big teams, but we are about to get in to match 1, set 1, game 1 between Connie and Thunder for Sandbox and Dylan and The Rock for Kicks. Let's get into it.
Here we are. After that little bit of an intro, we are finally in, and the players are ready to play their first cards.
We do see the Royal Giant on the side of Sandbox. Very interesting choice. Doesn't get much success, but we have seen a couple of decks where he has been the linchpin, and it did okay, but there's the Royal Hogs. The Royal Hogs come in, go straight for that tombstone. Great defense there. The log comes in to push them away. They are going to get a couple of tickles onto that tower. The big news is that Giant Skeleton and the Graveyard, do they have anything to defend it?
They have the poison. It's going to be fine to start things off, and the skeletons coming from the ground will not be of much service this time around. The tombstone once again doing a good job of slowing down the prince, and that's all you're really wanting for that 3 elixirs. And let's get the trade out this time around. It seems like Sandbox off to a pretty good start, but the Lumberjack, what are you up to this time? Just giving up the rage to something? Nothing?
You don't always need to get the rage onto something. The Lumberjack can do so much damage to a tower on his own that it's just insane. If he connects to a tower, you instantly lose like 500-600.
Well, for anything else, we're finally going to get the cycle of this Royal Giant for the very first time. We're going to see the Inferno Tower, which has been very, very successful for a lot of these picks so far. And the Inferno Tower will allow to be gone out, and the Infernal Dragon trying its load mark, trying to get down the Giant before it does too much damage. 1966 on the right side. Inferno Dragon, it's still rushing on.
Yeah, the fireball against those hogs was just inch perfect. Took most of them down almost instantly. The towers did clean them up. But we see this Mega Minion heading towards the tower, and the Prince and the Giant Skeleton again reloaded for kicks here.
Skeleton on turbo mode right now, as you can see, just being guided by the Prince, but we are now looking at the Prince kind of wayward with all these skeletons coming through from the ground, and the bat once again zapped away. And even the Giant Snowball just to slow things down, and the guards doing a very good job of mitigating the movements coming in from the Giant Skeleton and also the Prince. So this is once again good defense coming in from Sandbox, taking the chip damage on and on from these poison that we continue to see forth.
Yeah, summoning the guards against the Giant Skeleton is really smart, especially with the Tombstone behind, because the Giant Skeleton locks onto the skeletons. When he dies, the bomb doesn't kill the guards.
Look at the lightning coming through, just getting rid of everything right now. I think the lightning would have been appreciated there for that Infernal Tower, but the Fireball is going to get 3 of the 4 hogs, but they're going to be still charging it. So look at the left tower just a little bit. It's going to do a little bit decent amount of damage, and we're going to get it almost even. 1885 on the left, 1066 on the right, and you're going to see the Graveyard on the opposite side against Sandbox, but the guards doing a wonderful job with the help of the Lumberjacks. Once again, no damage there.
Yeah, the Royal Giant has actually been doing a lot of damage to these towers. He's taking out the Inferno Tower, which locks onto the Giant Skeleton, and then he does 300-400 to the tower. It's absolutely insanely well played by Sandbox here, making the most out of a Royal Giant, which most people would not put down in a professional match.
And here we go, Hunter, just to get some damage from afar. And we're going to see the Giant Skeleton once again. See go through it, the lightning once again helping out so much in this instance, and the Giant Skeleton does get the explosion damage onto the Royal Giant, but it's very, very healthy, as you can see. It's going to get a couple of hits before it goes down. 441 is going to be the final count before we see it do. You can see this Graveyard, how effective can this get? Once again, poison just to stop everything from the play, and the guards, once again, the Lumberjack, best friends, currently in partnership, doing a very good job of defending all this damage that's coming from Kick's team. And now we're going to see 1100 on the bottom, 441 on the top, means that only a couple of pellets coming in from the Royal Giant should be able to get the job done.
Yeah, the Lightning is also going to play a huge part in this. The Lightning will take that tower down to around 140 HP, which then means it can be finished with a poison. So they do have an out here if they have the elixir and the time to spend on it. There's the poison, there's the lightning, and a zap, and that is it. Sandbox take it in spectacular fashion. Their use of the Royal Giant there was, that's how you need to play that card.
And you have to complement their defense. Just everything that was very aggressively pushed forward by Kick's team with that Giant Skeleton, with that Prince, with that Graveyard multiple times very early in the game. We thought it might just startle Sandbox in a way that it did for the past 2 days. But on this day 3, when 2 matches will decide whether you'll literally become no wins and all losses against Southeast Asia, Korea finally started to take things back up, and Sandbox, the one we really like to remember, seemingly back in this game 1.
Yeah, I gotta say, Kix's offense was really, really good. Their placement of the poison, while they had the Giant Skeleton coming down at the same time, so you have the Graveyard in the back, Giant Skeleton starting to walk down the lane. They always put that poison on the top corner of the tower so that anything they put in defense would be affected. The Electro Wizards, the guards, everything was always there. Yeah, the Tombstone, everything was always in that poison, and it's still connected to the tower. That's really important for their offense.
I mean, it really was all about the Graveyard being the main win condition for Kick's team, but always mitigated very well. The guards and the Lumberjack always in partnership just to get all the damage and all the tanking to go with it. And we always sometimes have the poison, just 4 elixir investment. What are you going to take for that one? And you know, if you are Sandbox and winning that game 1 in that clean of a fashion, you're feeling pretty confident going to game 2.
Yeah, they should be confident too, but we have seen Dylan and The Rock play incredibly well together, and I don't think losing game 1 there is really going to affect them coming into game 2. We're going to see something different. We're going to see something spectacular from these guys. I guarantee it. But we are almost into set 1. Game 2 between Sandbox and Kicks. Let's go.
Here we are once again, Connie and Thunder, after a Game 1 victory, looking for a second one, as we already see a double Goblin Barrel onto both sides. Seems like the answer wasn't found right away. It still takes decent amount of damage on that first attempt.
Yeah, and it looks like Kicks have decided now to go for their Giant Skeleton and Royal Giant. Both players actually carrying the Royal Giant. That's not what we saw last time. Only one player from Sandbox was carrying it. But I just want to say the minor ban is very, very smart, because we have seen a lot of minors from the SEA team. So banning that out does force us into this completely different 2v2.
Now looking at this once again, the Infernal Dragon is going to be chopping down and melting down this Royal Giant with the Dark Goblin, the MVP there on that instance. Pretty good job of stopping the play, taking on, and you see a pretty heavy push on the left side. The Royal Giant along with the Giant Skeleton with the Mega Minion. How much defense can we see from Sandbox just along, push things back? Once again, the Giant Snowball just stops the charge in, so Royal Giant is allowed to get a few more hits there. Goblin Bear on the right though.
Yeah, and if that Inferno Dragon connect, that would have been dangerous, but the Fire Spirits come in, clean up the 3 remaining guards, and the Inferno Dragon and a Fireball there used against the barrel.
And literally, they don't have log, they don't have the arrow, so no real answer towards the Goblin Arrow. You're going to always have to resort to using the Zat and taking a lot of damage, or you're going to have to use the Fireball and losing 1 elixir.
Yeah, but in 2v2, losing 1 elixir like that occasionally is not the end of the world. It's, you know, it's obviously painful.
Oh, look at those
but you can do it. But the Giants get the Royal Giant again on the defense, on the offense there.
But you know what it is?
Tower away.
That Infernal Dragon, once it was summoned out, the Electro Wizard was almost predicted by Sandbox, putting those bats out, allowing the E-Wiz to not cancel the charge coming in from the Infernal Dragon. So now, it's a huge elixir lead already towards the side of Sandbox, and they already know, just throwing barrels left and right, this is what they really need to do.
Yeah, the Giant Snowball there, cleaning that up very efficiently. There's 595 HP remaining on that top right-hand tower. And again, they reload with this Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant push. Is it going to be enough? They do take out the Inferno Dragon. The guards are there. We saw the Giant Skeleton push as Sandbox take that top right-hand tower, and the push is nullified. And
you talk about getting the Inferno Dragon away, but imagine what they had to use to get that done. They used elixir, they used lightning, and they used a fireball. 10 elixir investment just to get 4 elixir unit away, and that's why they're so behind in elixir right now. And nothing for them to do. They're just trying to get the left tower down, but I don't think they will.
No, the Royal Giant there tried his hardest. If he got a couple more hits, it would have been over. He would have tied up, especially with the fireballs, but it's not enough. Sandbox take game 2 here and finish out set 1 with the victory.
And it seems like they are ready to relish on this victory, and maybe go on to a set 2 victory would be nice for them as well. But although looking through, it seems like Sandbox finally finding things, the pieces together, and they are really ready to take this game by the horns and really collect the first victory that Korea really needed, desperately needed for the past 2 days, but didn't get. Sandbox, giving that set 1 victory, gonna feel pretty good.
Yeah, before today, we were saying that Sandbox really did need to win this 2v2 because Lampo in 1v1 looks unstoppable. He looks the real deal. I mean, he beat SB, who yesterday just completely destroyed, I think it's not King's Own, who was playing yesterday. HQ versus... it was Sandbox, actually. SB completely destroyed them yesterday, and Lampo beat him. He's beat Jin TV as well, who's also an incredibly good player. And Lampo has only lost to Jai. I think that might have been his first game.
Could be. You know, but we are looking at this game, the 2v2, the significance of this win can't be understated. We understand that Korea came into this week just thinking that Southeast Asia might be a little bit easy of an opponent in terms of going 1-3, and it really wasn't the case. Southeast Asia really turned it up, and they knew what they had to do to collect these wins day after day. And here they are looking in day 3. Not as same as they were in the first 2 days in stage 3 of Southeast Asia, at least for Kicks team. Not as impressive as the first 2.
Yeah, but I think their 1v1 is where they're going to shine the most. I mean, we have Lampo up next. And if he wins that, it takes it to a King of the Hill. And Lampo is definitely one of those players who can carry them to a clean sweep. But Kix is one of the only teams in this league so far not to go to a King of the Hill.
And we're going to see if that changes today. We're going to see the 1v1 coming in from Sandbox, going up against Lampo. It's going to be Sato. We haven't seen too much from him. 1v1, 2-0 in terms of winning out and not losing much. And 2v2, 1-2. Didn't lose anything else other than that one little match that we all remember. But King of the Hills, one loss from him. So altogether, it seems like a pretty even scoreline for what he has accomplished for the time being. So Sato on his 1v1 endeavor. He definitely hasn't lost quite yet in this 1v1 set 2. See what changes here for today, because the opponent right here on the other side, Lampo, is going to be definitely waiting to beat him up.
Yeah, do you think the poison ban allows a graveyard or kind of stops it? Because poison is the ultimate answer to stop a graveyard, right? So does banning that open up graveyard?
Definitely opens up the graveyard. I wouldn't have to say so, because there's no direct counter for the graveyard. You have to kind of resort to secondary options, talking about the Gods, talking about the Lumberjack, and all these. Goblin Gang helps as well, but you know, you don't have the Goblin Gang to your favor, but you don't have that 9 elixir offensive unit either when you have the Graveyard Poison offensively put at the same time. And that's why it makes it a little bit difficult to pull off the Graveyard, but altogether, you know, we're going to see what happens in terms of choices, what options they go with. Sandbox, after winning that set 1, going to set 2, wanting to get a clean sweep against Kix team. Can they do it? Lampo trying to stop them. Let's see if they can do it.
Okay, so here we are. We have Sato for Sandbox in blue at the bottom. We have Lampo in red for Kix at the top of the screen. And Sato starts us up with those bats.
Just going to split the Goblin Gangs as well. We'll see what happens from here. Just taking the log, just cycling through. It seems like reaching that 10 elixir. Now we're going to see the battle round come through without those logs. And Skami to start us off. How many times have we seen a Skami in CRO Asia?
Not many. I don't think I've seen it at all so far. And it's a very interesting choice. My guess why he's bringing the Skeleton Army here is because banning Royal Hogs usually means you would see a P.E.K.K.A, but instead it looks like Lampo has decided to go for the 3 Musketeers. Does Sato have a Fireball?
3 Muskies Giant. That seems like the deck that we're going to be seeing right now, the Princess deck. It's going to be a walk for the side of Sato.
Beautiful minor placement there. Does take out that Princess. As the Skami comes in, makes quick work of the 2 Musketeers that were left, but the Goblin Gang will take out the mini P.E.K.K.A.
And it still takes a lot of damage onto the bottom side. Sato seemingly troubled after that one. Not much damage taken on the other side of Lampo. 2450 on both towers, and just a chip damage along both, but 1549 on the right. Looks a little bit daunting for the side of Sato. So on the bottom side for Sandbox, now finally seeing the Elixir Collector for the very first time. Giant got to be put on the bridge with the Graveyard. What are we going to see as the last card here? The Mini Horde is there to stop him, unless he has a poison. Sato, once again, an offensive failed here, but Arrow, this is what we've been looking for. The Giant is now going to do massive amounts of damage, and that might be first tower.
Yeah, it definitely is. The poison has been banned, and we did say before we came in that that might show that Sato was looking for these graveyards, and he made it work so well there. There was about 3 skeletons left over after the minion horde cleaned up, and the skeletons left and the Giant made very quick work of that top right tower. It looked like Sato was on the back foot. Actually, he took a lot of damage onto that bottom right tower. But he didn't care. He just came out and just destroyed instantly.
And the arrows was really unexpected. If you are the side of Lampo, you don't know that you're going to be running up to this. And once again, the log just to push things back. And the mini P.E.K.K.A will make quick work of these barbarians. And the 2 Musketeers on the top, though, that's going to be the one you're worrying about a little bit. But the mini P.E.K.K.A once again, a second cycle, really quick cycle for the side of Sato. And 3 Muskies once again back for Lampo. But it's just all about defense right now. He needs to convert that to offense.
Yeah, he did a really good job there, taking that bottom left-hand tower to 978, but will he be able to finish here? That's the question. The miner is going to town on that bottom right, but the mini P.E.K.K.A cleans it up. It looks like Sato will take set 1 here against Lampo, and that is a result I definitely wasn't expecting.
And at least it takes only one push for Sato to really finish off this game. Taking out one Giant, pushing it all the way to the tower with the graveyard already intact. Now, if you are looking towards Lampo, you've summoned the mini hoarder, you feel pretty confident. Obviously, no poison's been banned out. And just, would he bring the arrows? I just don't think so, but you do get surprised when you do see the arrows at the last minute and you have real no defense for that Giant still hammering down on that tower with those little skeletons that have survived from the graveyard.
The arrows was incredibly smart by Sato because he knew the only real super strong defensive option you have against a graveyard like that is the minion horde. It's the one that has the biggest area, it's the one that will kill skeletons in one hit, but there's so many of them, they can take 6 skeletons at the same time. That was smart bringing the arrows in here. So we see that he waits for the elixir. 3 elixir, throws the arrows. Suddenly everything is cleaned up there. The Giant, the skeletons, even the miner trying to defend here just isn't going to be enough. The Goblin Gang came out way too late, but incredible moves by Seto, reading his opponent's choices absolutely perfectly there. But he did take a lot of damage here. Those 2 Musketeers and the Ice Giant almost took that tower down.
Quickly, back to the mini P.E.K.K.A. The cycle was really quick for Sato, so no problem there. He wasn't really seemingly worried about that situation. So, and it really takes one push with the graveyard deck and really want to get the most benefit that you can and really startled Lampo on that game. One that he does call timeout, and so will get the extra minute to plan things out with his teammates. And of course, this is match point. If Sato does win once again, it's going to be a clean sweep of them against Kick Team in the first, very much a valuable victory for Korea in this week 3.
Yeah, and Sandbox are one of the teams that can really benefit from taking this win, because if they win here, they will go ahead of Kingzone DragonX. And if Kingzone DragonX play like they did Friday, I think, they're not going to beat AHQ. And that's going to put Sandbox ahead for a while, and that's going to play a big part in this region. The Korean region, with just Sandbox winning 1 game and no one else winning, that puts Sandbox in such a commanding position.
And you know what it is, Sandbox, they did this last season when they were looking a little bit weaker of the first parts of the season, but the more and more the season progressed, Sandbox looking like a stronger team as the days went on, and we're seeing that once again for Season 2. It seems like if they can beat the Kicks team, that will put them way ahead in terms of their momentum, just pushing forward. So we want to see if Sandbox with Sato on the lineup can do it against Lampo. He did it for game 1. He just needs one other game here.
Yeah, will he be able to do it? Time is up. We're about to get into set 2, game 2 between Sato for Sandbox and Lampo for Kicks. Let's get into game number 2.
Here we are, Sato after winning that game 1. He wants to make quick do of this second game and just, well, not quick do, just going with the Hog Cycle right away.
Yeah, we don't know if there's going to be a tornado, but the Hunter plays perfectly, takes that out. Now, yesterday we saw some amazing Hunter play, found angles that should not be possible, where the Hunter was taking out an Inferno Dragon, and the pellets were still hitting the tower. It did 300 to 400 damage.
Lampo, he's all about those 3 muskies all day today, and hoping they work out the bowler. You don't want to see that if you're playing the 3 muskies, and you're going to see that on the left side. And of course, the 1 muskie hoping to do all the damage, but the left definitely over with right now.
Yeah, and the Hog Rider comes in. The guards there to defend will start taking out.
The tornado just opened up the King's silo and didn't take any damage on the right because the guards did a very good job of mitigating the damage from that one little musketeer. And look at this, 2358 on the left, 2116 on the right with the King's Tower open. That's a huge advantage if you are looking at Sato.
Yeah, especially when Lampo is playing a Hog Rider deck. That's very, very important. The Hog Rider is not going to be able to get as much damage done as he usually does with that King Tower activated.
But that one swing from Sato every single time that Lampo summons out the Hunter, summons out those Skeleton, 5 elixir investment for 4. It's still going to get a single swing every single time. Eventually, those single swings add on to basically tower lost.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make use of it because Sato's like offense here and defense with the bowler. going up front, taking everything on. Look at this. It's not lasting long. The guards even come in here, clean that up ridiculously effectively, and the bowler still has some HP left.
To talk about what that means for Lampo if you are countering the bowler in any way. The three Musketeers on in, and the Hog Rider once again going on both sides, just going full offense on both angles. Once again, we're seeing the Ice Wizard do a pretty good job of throwing things back, and the Tornado's going to further cement the lead for this defense for Sano. 17-12 on the right, and 15-05 is the tower that he's looking for.
Yeah, both of these players are pretty even right now. I would say that Sato has a huge advantage in terms of deck, in terms of state of the board, but let's not count out Lampo. Lampo is definitely one of the players who can make this work. Sato's Hog Rider comes in, instantly takes a face full of shotgun from that Hunter.
Good fireball coming in from Sato, getting multiple units right there, and Hog Rider on a desperate cycle that really isn't working out, just putting it right to the middle once again. Gets no damage, no swing on the right side for Lampo. And what are you to do if those three Musketeers cannot make it in? Well, you know that you have to rely on the Hog Rider.
Yeah, the Inferno Dragon there for Sato actually got a good 300-400 damage in, and it is looking an almost insurmountable position here for Sato. He needs something to just work out. The Hunter instantly taking out that Hog Rider. Lampo is getting stuff done. Fireball comes in.
This fireball, very nice. You see the shaking of the hands from Lampo. He knows what that means. That was supposed to get a lot more than just one swing in. Now we're going to see with this Hog Rider moving forward here, the Skeletons doing a pretty good job of stopping that play, but 4+1 investment just to get rid of the Hog Rider in. Losing Elixir, more and more ashes do this Lampo, and what are you to do this time?
Well, if this Ice Wizard can connect to the tower, no, the Ice Golem comes down and blocks that up. But I was going to say, if the Ice Wizard can get to the tower there, a little bit of extra damage for Sato could close this out. The Inferno Dragon comes out.
Just going all in on the left side. This is this option that was chosen by Sato, but the Tornado and the Bowler we know can be absolutely deadly with the lock, just not allowing anything for these to come through. Once again, the cycle quickly back to the Hog Rider and the Bowler on the right. And so once again, ferment the damage that's coming through on the defense end. You're going to see 1100 on the right, 736 on the right for the other side. Sato needs those Hog Riders to really reach those through it. The Fireball doing a very good job of getting there. It seems like the Hog Rider will get there in time. You're going to get one swing, it seems like. Yes, the one swing will be enough. And the Fireball just awaiting to finish this game.
Yeah, we're waiting for that Fireball cycle now to finish this one off. Can Lampo finish this quickly? The Hog Rider does come in. He's trying to get it done. Just not enough. One or two extra hits from a Hog Rider during that whole game, and Lampo would have tied that up perfectly there. But Sato takes the victory. That's the first victory in this weekend for Korea, and Sandbox are the team that got it done 2-0. 2-0.
And just most convincing in the ways that you can done it. Just not losing a single game through their venture into that first eventual win for Sandbox. I remember them doing this against Japan of Season 1, where they were losing 6 games in a row, and they came into this game number 7 just on that Season 1 against Japan, their first outing, and losing 6 straight. You thought that Japan was just going to blow them out, but Sandbox was that team to really silence the crowd that was really all against them. So in the Season 2, when SEA was the final boss against Korea, Game 7, Match 7 comes underway in this week, and Sandbox does it once again.
Yeah, I think last season Sandbox did it against Game With as well, which is something we really weren't expecting, because Game With at that time looked just unbeatable.
Yeah.
And Sandbox today finally showed possibly a weakness in the armor of the SEA teams. Maybe it's just against Kicks. Maybe, you know, it's Kicks just didn't play as well as the other SEA teams. But we're going to find out when we go to match number 2 today, where it's going to be Kingzone DragonX against AHQ.
Anyway, to be fair, I mean, that Game 1 between Sano and Lampo was a little bit cheese in terms of that graveyard and keeping that arrow hidden to surprise him at the very last moment. So Lampo was a little bit startled there and didn't able to recover from all of that. It seems like that Game 1 victory was good enough to carry on that momentum to further damage out the output. Game 2 victory once again goes to Sato, showing once again how strong these Korean teams can be when they did the right thing then. They are on the right roads, trying to get to, once again, positivity in line that was very much absent for the past game.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that Sato there made that deck look and smell and talk like a splash yard deck. He didn't bring the graveyard. What was Lampost's last card? Oh, it was the Fireball. It was the Fireball. There we go. So they both saved their Fireballs until really late in the game, actually.
They just want to get the surprise factor out of the way. Just, you know, one more Fireball. That was all I was needed. You talked about a couple of swings needed, but the Hog Rider was never going to get it. 2 swings at least was needed. And out of Sandbox, looking very good for that venture. Finally getting the first win for Korea, and that's going to be very much a good run by Southeast Asia. Kind of halted for a meanwhile, so we'll get on to match 2 pretty soon. But for the meantime, let's get to an interview. So we'll have to see what the players from Sandbox were able to say about that one.
아이고 힘들었습니다. 드디어
difficult
한국팀
run
인터뷰
it was, but
시작해보도록
finally
하겠습니다.
Korea
첫 번째
gets the win.
동남아전 승리의
And
주역은
we'll see what Sandbox
축하합니다.
do. Think about all of this. Congratulations.
정말 힘들었습니다.
It was a tough one.
일단 그래. 일단 오늘의 소감부터 일단 먼저
How do you feel about today?
그다음에 혼낼게요. 자, 먼저 소감부터 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
오늘 이번에 동남아 팀을 상대로 처음으로
You know, the
이긴
Southeast
팀이
Asian teams were
샌드박스여서
very
너무
dominant
좋았고
in today's
그
and weeks
개인전에서도
performances,
동남아
and
팀이 샌드박스 딱 이기면서
we knew that
개인전도 제가
even Sandbox
이기면서
getting beaten out by then, we knew that we need to make a
그렇습니다.
difference.
뭐 팀도 승리를 가져갔고 본인이
Need to get a wonderful
1대1에
win
나와서도
for you
승리를
guys,
가져갔고 그다음 약간 또 혼나는 타이밍도 사실
And now we
필요합니다.
thought that maybe this might be a time where you guys really need to pick things back up, because it seems like going off to this direction will never be good for the Korean region at all.
상상하기 좀 힘들었던
And it feels like the kind of the picks that you went out today were very unexpected in multiple ways.
한국이 조금 약간 동남아 팀보다 잘한다는 생각에
We always think that
의심을 했던 것 같아요.
the Korean teams are always better than Southeast Asian teams. That got us a little bit
뭔가
complacent.
일본
So
팀보다
kind of getting
연습을
back to the realization of
일단은
we always need to
일본전에
work
거의
hard to
모든
get
것들을
these
좀
wins. It's kind of finally hit our head here.
약간의 매너리즘에 빠졌다.
You do say that little bit complacency there.
아니야 인정. 인정. 알겠습니다. 자 어쨌든 오늘 굉장히 재밌는 댓글도 좀 많이
After
나오기도 했었고 특히 뭐
the introduction of
했습니다만
many different decks today, and
플레이도
you really
굉장히
did
인상
see the
깊었습니다.
Connie and Thunder also with their unique decks in line. Surprised a lot of people for what you were able to accomplish.
광고 배나고 막 그랬었거든요.
And we actually saw the minor ban coming through, so a lot of questions in the air for that one.
2대1도 그렇고 1대1도 그렇고 되게 신선했거든요.
1대1 같은 경우는
so
그냥
that
완전
1v1.
그 람포 선수한테 박경 나와라 해가지고 그냥
And
독을
we were
배냈거든요.
kind of just telling him, Lampo, to use
박경만
the
카운터
mortar.
치는 덱을
I was
준비했었는데
kind of about what we were
또
trying to defend
박경
against,
외에도
but
카운터
we
당하는
really used the
덱을
mortar deck,
람포
so we were
선수가
kind of startled by that at
준비해가지고
first,
너무
but
좋았던
trying to
것
make
같아요.
the best use
저도
of
사실
what we had
해설하면서도
available
요거
in our deck
람포가
as well.
박격을 많이 사용했었기 때문에 또
You talk about Lampo using the mortar very well
사실
in
저희가 화살 보고
multiple
되게 많이
events
놀라긴
during the
했었거든요.
season. And
그런 느낌으로
do you feel like maybe that was the strategy going through?
미니언 패거리 상대가 미니언 패거리인데 화살이어서 진짜
I
완전
mean,
독선적에서
you know,
너무
if it was
좋았고
the minion
그
horde,
고객님-
I knew that I got the win right there
고객님인데
because I had the
전
arrows, which was a
완전
perfect counter for. I didn't expect it at
카운터
first,
카운터
but
치는 그 느낌이라서
getting the counter was a little bit lucky
독선적이
on my own
뭔가 절반을
perspective,
가져갔다.
but
네.
definitely we're thankful that we were
일단은
able to get
저희가
that
그
right.
샌드박스가 승리 가져가고 나서 이제 내려가면서
And with Sandbox
썬더가
collecting the win,
형 왜 저
and just
인터뷰
ending
아니에요?
down.
썬더는 지금 본인이
Thunder was,
인터뷰하고 싶어가지고 지금
actually
난리가
saying, you know,
났는데
a couple of
썬더가
things
지금 인터뷰
as he
해가지고
was
지금
going
화가
down the
많이
stage, and
났어요.
maybe he wanted to
평소에
get the
저렇게
energy
약간 욕심이
himself.
많습니까?
What do you want to say about that?
약간 욕심이 많으신 것 같아요.
I mean, Thunder really wants to do a lot of things, so
이 공식적인
I don't blame him for
자리를
that.
빌려서 썬더에게 한 말씀 좀
You want to say
해주세요.
anything to
그렇게
Thunder
하면 안 된다고
right on the
있을 수
stage?
있잖아요. 친구니까 동갑내기 친구니까.
썬더야 다음 인터뷰는 너가 하도록.
Well, Thunder, you can do the next interview.
알겠습니다.
So that's a promise right there for him. So
어쨌든 다시 한번 또 축하의
we'll
말씀을
get to see
드리도록
another
하겠습니다. 첫
congratulations
번째
for Sandbox.
한국팀의 또 승리기
in the first match,
동남아전,
tied
첫
up
번째
in
한국팀의
ropes
승리기도 하고
in a good way
사실은
for
나갈
Korea for the very first time
많이
in the Southeast
남았습니다.
Asian matchup.
이쪽에 아직까지
We
킹존이
do talk about
대기하고 있고
what we
이번
have
시즌에
for later,
가고
parts of that season where
들어보도록 하겠습니다.
obviously the wins will affect you guys in a big way. How do you think about that?
꼭 월드 파이널 가서
We're going to try to make it to the
우승하는
World's
장면을
final. There's
또
no buts
보여드리겠습니다.
about it, and we're going to try to get
알겠습니다.
there the
앞으로도
best we can.
연전연승하는 그런 샌드박스의
And hopefully with
모습
consecutive wins along the way,
기대해보도록
maybe
물론,
Sandbox
다른
can't
한국
get that
팀들도
dream
앞으로
achieved by
계속해서
going to the
좋은
World's
모습
final,
보여줘야만
but
하는 그런
a good win for
상황이거든요.
Sandbox as we
파이팅
probably going to
하시기를
enter into
바라도록
right here.
하겠습니다.
Yeah,
인터뷰는
a
여기서
very
마무리하도록
good
하겠고요.
performance by
잠시 후에
Sandbox, taking the victory against a very strong Kicks team. But we're going to find out what is going to happen in the next game.
And let's go into a short break, guys. We'll be back and with the next series in line. So short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back everyone to Royale Asia Season 2. We're back after that first series. Went to a very, very quick fashion in terms of ending it out. And this was a sign of Southeast Asia for once. We're finally getting a Korea win for the very first time this week. And Sandbox very happy to relish over that one.
Pretty sure that's our quickest 2-0 we've had this season. That's one of the quickest games so far. But we are about to get into what should be an absolutely explosive match between Kingzone DragonX and AHQ eSports Club.
And we're going to see what that's all really resorts to. Big Daddy Ho, July and Expo Master, these are the only 4 players existent in this Kingzone roster, and that means all 4 players will be participating some way or the other. And we've been looking at Season 1, 7-4, just to get second place right behind. Obviously the Sandbox game with that came through, but all the more 4-2 right now locally in this Korean region. They are the top of the ranks, but if they don't win right here, I think they just might fall behind Sandbox that just got a really nice win also today. So looking like Expo Master and the rest of the guys are pretty stiff in terms of their opposition. It'll be a very strong one indeed.
Yeah, Kingzone DragonX is one of the teams I thought would make big moves during the Season 1 and Season 2. Like picking up new players. But they didn't pick up anyone, they decided to stick with their players. But this team have brought in 2 amazing players. We have AHQ Jerry Sung, who was there last season. We have AHQ Master Hong and AHQ SB2. Incredible 1v1 players who were brought in for Season 2. Jacke and Yao Yao round that team out, who were there last year, who were one of the best 2v2 pairings I think we saw.
And really just stable 2v2 now, and with Jacke and also Yao Yao just being there every single time for that roster. So don't be surprised if we see the slide later on showing that Jacke and Yao Yao will be the ones to come up and making jokes left and right. And it seems like they're just having a lot of fun compared to Kingzone, who is kind of just stiff for the meantime. So shaking hands just to let each other know of the sportsmanship that we are all accustomed to. And we're going to see what Jacke and the rest of HQ has in line for basically the first defeat that Southeast Asia has gotten all week long. We're going into this next one, the last match of these 2 regions. Can HQ really stomp them once again, or Kings, or are they ready to take a second win?
I think, I cannot call this, honestly. I mean, AHQ Esports Club played so well yesterday against Sandbox. It was just something unreal. They just dominated. But we see here in the 2v2, we see the NATO and an Inferno Dragon Band.
We are, and that's going to be an Inferno Dragon Band, meaning that maybe a heavy push is going to be very much prepared. Golem is definitely acceptable. Giant is there, and Lava Hound just as acceptable in this current meta. I mean, in this 2v2, AHQ might be prepared for something big here. It means the Inferno Tower, which has been very much proactively used by many teams throughout the current meta. I mean, it might just appear once again for Kingzone. It might be the other way around for AHQ, but with the NATO band and the Inferno Dragon band, we're seeing from this first 2v2 matchup between these guys. And I wonder what we're going to see. Expo Master and Ho joining forces once again.
Yeah, I am very interested by that Inferno Dragon Band because, yes, it does show that you are going to play probably a very heavy deck. But you can also counter that by playing Royal Hogs. You force your opponent into thinking, oh my god, it's going to be the Giant, it's going to be the Golem. So they pick Inferno Tower, and the Hogs are a great answer to the Inferno Tower.
It really is, and you can see what that resorts to. The Royal Hogs have been pretty good after their recent buffs, and has been very much used excessively by a lot of teams with the past couple of days. But all the more, Jacke and Yao Yao on this 2v2 scenario, they definitely can send out the Royal Hogs. The same thing with Kingzone, and it seems like they want to play some heavy decks, but I wonder if this last few seconds that we had the time to really decide on the first deck of this matchup. We'll see some otherwise.
Yeah, Royal Hogs actually just received a very slight nerf, I believe. So we did see them a lot in weeks 1 and 2. Weeks 3 and 4, we've seen them still used, even though they got taken down a notch. But they have been so effective for very few teams. But we are about to get in to set 1, game 1 between Kingzone DragonX, Expo Master and Ho, and AHQ Esports Club, Jacke and Yao Yao.
Here we are, Expo Master and Ho just waiting in line on the bottom side, and Shaq and Yao, they're ready to play as well. So see some pretty quick cycles. The Skelly Barrel along with Skeletons, that one Elixir Summon, it's just going to be north and away with that little zap. You see the Tombstone kind of lure away the Skelly Barrel right to its tracks. So you can see the Baby Dragon just trying to do some AoE damage onto these little skeletons one at a time here.
Another Baby Dragon supporting does close down that Mega Minion before it takes down the Dragon. And there is a lot here, but it doesn't look like anything is actually going to get near the towers.
You can see the Golem on the bottom side, as you can see from Expo Master's hand, but otherwise, we're going to see a Lava Hound right at the bridge with the Graveyard right away. The poison is there defensively for Kingzone DragonX, but still looking for a lot of damage in this very aggressive push very early in this game.
Yeah, HQ played a very, very offensive Lava Hound there, putting it right at the bridge. Usually we see it at the back, but it has been getting work done. They wanted to use it to tank up for their Graveyard, and they are getting so much damage done.
Oh my word, and the Golem has been summoned. They were waiting for that counter push, but what do you have as a counter push when the Lava Pups are doing that big of a damage? And 391 on the left. It's going to be something that's definitely worth mentioning about, and it seems like the Prince is ready on the left side for offense and for defense for HQ as well.
Yeah, Kingzone DragonX really need to get something done with this push because they have taken critical damage on that bottom left-hand side. The Golem is going to get to the tower. It is going to get one punch and then explode. So they are getting something here, but is it going to be enough?
The Baby Dragon will get away from the Prince.
Lumberjack is so healthy.
Is still right there doing all the damage and will get the first tower. No problem for that whatsoever. No defense for Shaka, and Yao means that HQ is going to lose the first tower early in this game.
Yeah, that Lumberjack snuck through all the chaos that was going on. And when a Lumberjack connects to the tower is not long for this world.
And you know what it is, when that Lumberjack avoids all those particles coming in from the Baby Dragon, you know it's doing the right thing, just running around with the Skelly Barrel this time having behind the Lava Hound, and we're going to see if the second push does a lot of fruition. Over to Shakanyang, and we're going to see another Graveyard here, probably a poison just right there for defense. We are definitely going to see that come through.
Yeah, but there is an offensive poison as well. The Hunter does take very, very good care of that Lava Hound, this time not getting as much damage done. We can see 1,848 remain on that bottom right tower. They are one Fireball AHQ away from taking that bottom left-hand tower and tying it up. They do have 10 seconds left. Do they have the Fireball in cycle? It doesn't look like they do.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, just getting the Tombstone out of the way is that what they're looking for, but finally we'll get enough spells to get that one crown right back into even, and it seems like Kingzone DragonX, I mean, if they took the first tower a little bit earlier, another Golem right at the pocket here. We're going to see what this all results into, because it seems like the double Golem trying to get the job done right here, right now.
It's going to do so much damage, down to 1,400 already.
They have no defense. They have no defense. That's the biggest problem for right now Kingzone. If this push doesn't work out, the counter push is going to be immense for HQ.
No, I think they do have the defense. They have some elixir. They can make it work. The Lumberjack summon to defend against that Graveyard. Good answer with the bats as well. The Prince goes down. But do they have an answer for that Lava Hound and the Pups? It doesn't look like they do. They're going down to 760. Will this Lumberjack be able to connect? No, the Skeletons are there to stop it. The Barrel and the Baby Dragon come barreling down. A Golem played there to distract the Baby Dragon, but is it going to be enough?
Skelly Barrel is going to be just floating right on the Tombstone, and we'll just get this thing away, but otherwise, we see another Pocket Golem being summoned out, just trying to get close enough to the tower to make sure it gets explosion damage.
That's going to be
the explosion damage is going to be enough. That one hit with the log will not be sufficient enough for HQ, and Kingzone, very close matchup, does get that first game victory.
Yeah, Kingzone looked in a very, very bad position after that first push by AHQ eSports. Got it down from full health to 300. They made the Golem push finally work, and then once they took that one tower, it was double Golem, one at the bridge, one in the pocket, and that means you're not going to have a good offense because they've blocked both channels.
And really what you're trying to do for HQ, you're trying to defend against all those Golems coming in and then prepare a counter push of your own. But as you were saying, Simon, it is important to know that all the counterattacks that were coming through from the side of HQ, it really wasn't that big as we thought, because it was easily defended by the Prince, talking about the poison just to mitigate against the Graveyard. They had all the answers, Kingzone, and it seems like at least the counter-wise in terms of the deck composition did work out pretty well for the Korean side.
Yeah, that Lumberjack there that took that top left-hand tower, the first damage and the only damage it really took was from a lock. That's not what you want when it's that close to the tower. You already had skeletons in the Mega Minion. Great zaps by Kingzone DragonX to make sure it didn't take that much damage. Wonderful, wonderful play. And here we see the final blow, the double golems again. That one all it takes is one golem really to get to the tower like that, and it's over. And
really all you're looking for is the explosion, just trying to get close enough to the tower to make sure you get that 200 plus damage on that level 9 standard. And finally, we're going to see once again Kingzone on a very positive end of things in this game 1, and game 2 could really put them in a pretty good throttle here. See what happens here, because HQ, after losing at game 1, not looking as happy as they were in the player introduction.
Yeah, I think the Inferno Dragon ban actually kind of works against AHQ when they have a deck like that, but let's find out if AHQ can bring it back in game 2, or whether Kingzone DragonX, Expo Master and Ho can finish this one out.
And here we are once again, Expo Master and Ho after getting that game 1 victory. Shaka Nyao Yao not feeling the smiles that they were relishing upon just 5 minutes ago, and it seems like a quick start once again. Oh, we can see Electro is supporting the golem for Kingzone. That's a little bit cute.
It is, especially when there's no Inferno Dragon. Did you really need the Ewiz here? I guess it does take out bats, but are they really that much of a problem? But both teams now are playing golem decks. This is going to really depend on who can push forward the hardest at the right time.
Great fireball coming in from Major. You know the defense will be there this time around, and the Lumberjack once again working very, very hard to get to your Franks here, and we're going to see once again the damage coming in from the left side from HQ being a lot more lethal now. 1588 on the count as we see this Mega Minion being stranded forward as we do look at another push coming in with this Prince and the Golem.
Yeah, but that Golem is very, very healthy. It gets to the tower. Do AHQ have an answer? They do throw down the minions and the Dark Prince, but that's still going to take a lot of damage. Is it going to go down to below 500? Not quite. 762 remains on that top left-hand side tower. And Kingzone DragonX have taken a pretty commanding lead if they can defend any pushes coming in.
Okay, we're going to see the charge coming through. The attack speed for the Hunter was not enough to get rid of the Dark Prince right away. The Hunter's going to be stranded, obviously just going to be left to die. And we're going to see another zap coming through, just cycling through. And I see 706 on the count, meaning that this golden push for Kingzone, this has to be the one to break the tower.
If it gets to the tower, it is over. That Golem will take it out. One hit plus explosion damage pretty much finishes it off. I mean, there is still some HP left.
And you see the desperation coming in from HQ, summoning those double golems with the lumber. This is their last push. They know that one golem will probably get the job done and will take out 706 with pretty much of an ease. And the explosion does happen. That's going to confirm the 1 crown for Expo Master and Ho. But this is a push on the other end with that double golem. Will that be enough? Because the fireball is going to stop the Electro Wizard from all that damage. And the Mega Minion will get one more swipe, getting it right back to even here, Simon.
Yeah, and now it completely depends on who can play their Golem faster and better. We saw last time Kingzone DragonX would play 1 Golem at the back and then 1 in the pocket. Is it going to happen again? They do have a second Golem. It's going to the bridge instead of the pocket. So it's 2 Golems pushing against 2 Golems. There are bats there. Their Tombstone is down for Kingzone DragonX. That's going to help on the defense, but 1 Golem is still incredibly healthy here.
And we see the poison just making the differences here altogether. The Lumberjack goes down and the Prince goes down as well. So we're going to see 1458 on the right as we see a counter push coming on the opposite with the Rage all raged up. And we're going to see if this Prince can charge in. That's going to be the zap to really save the lifetime here. But these double baby dragons are going to do so much work on this last tower.
Yeah, it looked like Kingzone DragonX got the better of that last push. But now they are not looking in a very good position. AHQ have already reloaded with their Golem, double Golem and a Prince. But King's Own DragonX only have one golem down. The Hunter does come down on the defense, and it does get hit with a fireball.
And that's going to be it. The log will be good enough, and that poison should be sufficient. And with that explosion damage that could come from the golem, that will be good enough. The explosion damage not even needed there. 200 plus damage. Very easy for HQ to take on it. Gets it back to even in this game too.
Yeah, AHQ Esports Club, they're showing Expo Master and Ho really how to play that deck effectively. They both played very, very similar decks, and although at the beginning of the game, I would say that King's Own DragonX always got the advantage in their pushers, that balance of favor always was creeping away from them, and it just finishes on AHQ Esports side, who do manage to get it completed.
And Kings of DragonX called timeout right after that one. That defeat wasn't expected by their standard, and it feel as if they were trying to take that 2-0 victory and make this a quick set, like Sandbox did against Kick's team. So this time around, it didn't happen that way. Meaning that Expo Master and Ho need to think of a different strategy, and now the other two teams are going to try to come and help out with that.
Yeah, I feel like King's Own DragonX really need to win this 2v2 to stand a chance, because their 1v1 showings where it's not Expo Master have been shaky at best, and we're going to have Big Daddy against Master Hong. Master Hong has shown that he is a real deal.
Master Hong is a masterclass. That's all he really is, and he just shows how to be stable, so clean at these 1v1s. He wins the games for sure, but he wins them in a way that's so convincing that we like to see from him again and again. And even if he beats up the Korean teams, I do not mind at all, because it seems like I just want to see some good Clash Royale.
Yeah, and I think he will easily be able to handle Big Daddy in the next set. So it is down to Expo Master and Ho to try and bring this to set 2 in an advantageous position so that they can go to that King of the Hill and have Expo Master clean sweep like they did against Ponos.
And we'll see if that comes true, because it seems like HQ, they're not going to stop right here. They're really looking for the victory, and they're not going to be satisfied without it. Jack and Yaoya, after getting that game 2 victory in a very, very dominative manner, even with a very similar deck to their opponents. King's Own just didn't have the answer with the Lumberjack, with the Prince every single time, and that Poison really mitigating the defense on the other end as well. So these guys only have 15 more seconds before they decide their fate as to if their decks will be good enough to go for this last battle here. And before we end up set 1, HQ, if they get a win right here, and like you said, Simon, it should be surely a match win for them altogether.
Yeah, it will put King's Own DragonX on such a back foot for the rest of this game. With Jacke and Yaoya though, they can make a couple of mistakes, and I think Expo Master and Ho are the type that will see a mistake and capitalize on it instantly. So it is not over by any means. Expo Master and Ho, King's Own DragonX can win this game 3, and they have to do it against AHQ Esports Club's Jacke and Yaoya, who just took game 2. Will they be able to take game 3? Let's get into it.
Here we are once again. This third game in this matchup should be a very important one. Wants to win out. We'll have different perspectives leading up to set 2 here, and an instantaneous summon of the Golem and the Prince. On the left side here, just guards for defense, and now we see a Pekka on the left side, just an ultimate counter, trying to just stop the Golem attack coming in.
Yeah, and look at what AHQ Esports have bought here. They bought the balloon. Do King's Own DragonX have any kind of air defense that can take that out once this minion dies? I'm not sure. I think they only have the Mega Minion, really, to defend. They do have a Baby Dragon, but that's never the answer against the Blue.
The Baby Dragon is coming in. It's going to be stopped in by the Electro Wizard. Electro Wizard trying to do the same against this Pekka, but the minion's going to help out just a little bit, just to make sure the Pekka can go through. But the Baby Dragon, once again, should be enough damage to finish this one off. But otherwise, now you got to be thinking, if you are King's Own, you see that Pekka and you see that balloon. Now what are you trying to do after you already expected 8 elixir already into this attack?
Yeah, and they don't have many other air defense here. The bats are there, but the poison from AHQ closes that off. They do get 1 drop. The bats do clean it up. The death damage will be enough there. Will this Golem be able to capitalize on the lack of defense for AHQ?
And now we're looking at this Mega Minion once again, just trying to stop all the damage that's coming through, but offensive poison on the other end for the side of Kingzone. Gonna be very aggressive to take this turn, trying to get as much damage as they can after the explosion damage does lead to an 11:07 on the left for Kingzone as they were trying to get that damage done.
Yeah, pretty much equalizing the scores here. But I do feel that AHQ eSports have the deck advantage. The balloon is such a smart choice because we haven't seen much air defense on the way of Kingzone DragonX. Oh, and the
Prince is lost.
Yeah, the Prince walked past the Golem, and that is terrible. You need that in behind.
They're trying to get this through, and the good lining coming into play. And second P.E.K.K.A just to put insult to injury. This is going to be a troubling situation if you are Kingzone. What are you to do, knowing that a balloon is going to be coming right its way?
Yeah, you got to throw down that tombstone to try and slow down the P.E.K.K.A. The Mega Minion put in the middle is going to go down to the minions. The Baby Dragon is there. A good fireball.
Oh, the balloon's going to be already on its way, and the Baby Dragon is not going to be enough, and that will confirm the first tower. Now there's 891 on the other end. Doesn't look as strong as before. It seems on HQ just being able to defend this wall. Offensive poison is a last-ditch effort for Kingzone, but it seems like with 10 more seconds left to go, 7:18, but the Lumberjack escapes and finally gets to the tower, and that will equal things up.
Yeah, that was pretty bad there for AHQ Esports Club. They had nothing to answer that Lumberjack, who just run beneath everything to take that tower. And suddenly, it looks as though Kingzone DragonX might have the better rotations here. Double P.E.K.K.A for AHQ is a great answer to the Golem Prince, but...
Oh, cheeky! Golem right on the left side, trying to go for the King's Turn, trying to go for the 3 crown. The Mega Minion will die into the Zap and the Fireball combo, and the Prince is charging in, but it seems like the Mega Knight has already been the one. The Mega Minion has already been the work to it. The P.E.K.K.A is rushing in. The balloon has been really thwarted right here, and it seems like they're ready to take this game by the horn.
Yeah, that's really bad. The Mega Minion actually locked onto the P.E.K.K.A, meaning it wasn't going to do damage to the balloon. Oh, the balloon didn't get a drop. That's really bad for AHQ. That was, I gotta say, that was so smart. Playing the Golem on one side, they see the double P.E.K.K.A, they're like, okay, let's go down the other side with the Golem. Super smart, but will they be able to defend?
Now we see the Golem on the other side just reaching towards the P.E.K.K.A to go on the left side. It's gonna be forever chasing that as we still see the horizon here. And once again, the balloon doing a very good job of trying to get to that angle in time, but all the more it is gonna be stopped midway. And this one little Golem is definitely not gonna get enough damage done, but the Rage, very optimistic there, and just trying to go for the Lumberjack to get the finish, but didn't get that down. So a heavy investment for a lot of risk didn't pay off for Kingzone right there.
Yeah, but it didn't affect them that much. They defended excellently at that bottom right when the 2 P.E.K.K.As were near that tower. So it was a risk, but it was calculated. They managed to defend very, very effectively there and deal more damage onto that the King Tower.
Oh, that's the wrong order. That's the wrong order. The towers are targeting the balloon. You are not supposed to do that. There's a split-second difference where you have to summon the P.E.K.K.A first before the balloon, but it was the other way around, and that might just cost this team. AHQ probably going to lose after that one.
Yeah, double Prince charge. Both connect onto that tower. It's very hard to see whether this is going to be a 3-crown or a 2-crown victory, but AHQ Esports Club are trying to get an answer here. They have a Mega Minion. They have the minions at the bottom. Is it going to be enough? No. The Golem connects. 1 hit, 2 hit. Its explosion will finish it off. And Kingzone DragonX take game 3 with some excellent defensive masterclass lessons there for all of us to learn from.
And AHQ, I mean, they were on the desperation effort near the very end, very impatient to go for that P.E.K.K.A balloon, which was a good idea right at the pocket, but the execution, that's where it really falls off. You can't summon the balloon before the P.E.K.K.A. You can't have all those cannons coming from towers to direct right their attack right towards the balloon. It's not as tanky as you think, and everybody knows that the P.E.K.K.A was supposed to be summoned first. And if that worked out, maybe it would have worked out, but summoning like that gave the win automatically over to Kingzone.
Yeah, I think Kingzone DragonX still had the defense for it because they did summon the Tombstone and the Prince right next to the King Tower, so it was never going to go for that bottom right-hand tower. But yeah, as you say, I think that was costly on AHQ Esports' side.
And you talk about if AHQ did win out that game 3 in the set 1, and that would have made them a lot of confidence in terms of going onto the set 2 can really rely on Master Hong to get the job done. But you know, in this scenario now that Master Hong can get the win, but that will only get them back to a set 3.
And it will put them in a king of the hill situation. It looks like, yeah, AHQ eSports Club have never had a king of the hill lose.
They never really had to. They always won 2 sets, or they lost like 2 sets, and it really, one way or the other, has been the case for AHQ this entire season. And for the many matches that they have played, it seems like they are finally in this instance where Korea doesn't look as weak as they did for the past couple of days. And Kingzone and Sandbox, totally the 2 stronger teams that we have in this region, are going to be the ones to really say no to the answer that were coming to us from Southeast Asia.
Yeah, they had a wake-up call the other day when Sandbox lost to AHQ and Kingzone lost to Brent eSports, and it must have knocked them out of like their comfort zone, because today they've come here and have shown some amazing play, super solid, super just, the deck choices have been really good too. Admittedly, here in this 2v2, Kingzone and DragonX did play the same deck pretty much 3 times in a row.
This is where the balloon really didn't pay off as much as we would like. It got the first tower for AHQ, and that was fine. The death damage was there, but the second tower became a nuisance that really AHQ couldn't get over. And the Lumberjack we talk about, if it wasn't there, 10 seconds away from literally defeating out Kingzone and winning out set 2, did not happen. And you know the spectacles of this one, it became a very easy choice for the side of Kingzone after that run, and really just a golden push all the way through it. We knew after that one it was going to be an automatic victory with that double goal.
Yeah, that Lumberjack that got through, it only got through because AHQ had 0 ground cards in their hand. They had spells, Baby Dragons, and a Mega Minion. That's not enough to stop a Lumberjack from connecting. And I have to say, it was over there, but the double Prince charge into that top right tower, that would have also cleaned it up if they couldn't have finished with the 3 crown. They were looking at either the 3 crowns or the 2 crown win. And that's a very bad position when you're AHQ, because both of those towers are very, very low.
And we are seeing, leading up to the set 2, it's going to be Big Daddy. Not the biggest guy in the team, but he does call himself Big Daddy, which is an irony in itself. But we are looking at him with a 4-win and 1-loss record. A 1v1 not too shabby, if I must say for myself. But he will be going up against a very strong opponent, as we know, but our results from Big Daddy has been positive so far.
Yeah, Big Daddy has taken out 1 crown, but I believe that was 1 crown's first game where he didn't look as good as most people were saying he was. And he has beaten Amaterasu as well at game with. So, Big Daddy is not a joke. But this guy on the screen right now, Master Hong, has impressed literally everyone here. Like, you talk to any of us casters, who is one of the strongest players we've seen, one of the newer players, we'd say this guy, Master Hong, has been incredible so far.
Has taken 1 loss so far, but altogether, with all this preparation time, and it seems like, you know, 1 match loss does not really fault him for being a great player that he is. Master Hong looking as fantastic as ever, and it seems like he will be the one to really bring back HQ to this momentum that they're really needing to get back into set 3. But all the more, it should be very important as to Master Hong. Can he get the job done after his 2v2 duos were not able to do it for HQ? Master Hong needs to be the hero now. Let's go into set 2 to see if Master Hong can get the job right done. Him against Kingzone. Okay, we're finally in. Big Daddy ready to play, giving up the good luck. Not really any reply backs. A second good luck being thrown out there. Big Daddy, still no reply.
It happens. Both these players, though, have the same record. 4 game wins, 1 game loss, a perfect 100% set win record.
Ah, look at this, a mega knight coming through on the left side from Master Hong. He's preparing for a big one right here, but the P.E.K.K.A, you do not want to see that if you're Master Hong.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A is a great choice here. We see the Bandit and the Royal Ghost already. With the P.E.K.K.A as well, this is going to be a very, very interesting deck. We're going to see the Miner come in. The minions on the other side actually leaving that P.E.K.K.A alone. And that is a very smart move. The poison does not catch the Miner as the Miner's just going to town. The Miner from Master Hong though.
Wizard, are you serious for Big Daddy right now? Are you putting the damage on on that defense, and now Wizard, as flimsy as he is, does a lot of damage, and that's going to be a very good defense once again for Big Daddy. He has all the answers for the entire deck of Master Hall.
A Wizard is such an interesting choice. I think it's the first time we've seen
I
it.
haven't seen a Wizard for the
in
longest
Clash
time.
Royale. Did we see it Season 1? I don't think we
No,
did.
I don't think we did. I think a Wizard is a long time coming in terms of the competitive scene. Just not in the belief to really say that is this really valid for this competitive scene for how flimsy it is in terms of the HP bar, but doesn't really seem to be the case right now because it seems like the Wizard is doing a very good job defensively.
Yeah. Master Hong's Bandit did get a charge onto that bottom right-hand tower, I believe. It's down to 2,130. With the zap there, the tower will take it out. The Miner comes in at the back, and the Mega Knight actually knocked into it, but the Miner actually just decided to carry on attacking the tower. 1,622 remains on the top right.
But when you invest 7 elixirs into killing a Miner, and you see the Peck on the inside, you just don't know what to do. And obviously, this little Infernal Dragon not even going to get the entirety of this P.E.K.K.A. With this Wizard coming up online, just going to be able to die out to that poison, but still looking like this P.E.K.K.A. is very, very healthy as we still make the mark here.
Yeah, and the Miner put in at the back again as the P.E.K.K.A. is tanking out. The Royal Ghost on the other side as well. This is just so much damage being done to Master Hong's tower. Will this Mega Knight be able to connect onto the tower? The answer is no.
Definitely will not calculate it there by Big Daddy, but all the way forward, it seems like everything is working out for the side of Big Daddy. It seems like every counter that he had was in preparation for what we brought out in this tournament, but now we're looking at the Royal Ghost, obviously trying to get in line for all of this, and the offensive poison is going to damage things out for just a little bit. The P.E.K.K.A. is not here, it means the Bandit will probably go down, so we're going to see another charge coming through from the side of Master Hong. Going to get it down to 1594, but still taking a lot of damage on the other end.
Yeah, both of Master Hong's towers are not looking very healthy. The Wizard there does take out the Miner, but the poison will finish him off. The Inferno Dragon was looking very close. Oh, and the Bandit wasn't summoned in the right place. The Miner on that right side, on the left side of the tower, goes ham. Once again, this P.E.K.K.A. will take out the Royal Ghost. It will take out the Bandit. A zap comes in as the tower finishes off those minions. And this is looking really, really bad now for Master Hong.
And really the Miner is not going to be stopped here. And at 318, it's going to be about a poison and a zap away. But are we going to see more and more come through? That Bandit doing no damage to the P.E.K.K.A. as it still survives to kill off the Bandit right there.
Yeah, but this time Big Daddy's Bandit was in the wrong place. The Miner does get connection, so that tower is low.
We're going to see the zap once again coming through just to retarget onto the Infernal Dragon, keeping the P.E.K.K.A. alive. Once again, the Bandit not in the right position. Once again, 190 means that the poison will be good enough over time, and that will be the first game going over to Big Daddy in the easiest of fashion. Master Hong looking a little startled.
Yeah, Big Daddy showing that he is the Big Daddy today. Absolutely incredible play. Everything he did was designed to get damage, and even a Wizard, I just was not expecting it.
And we didn't expect it, but you know what it was in the end? Big Daddy's, every single one of those 8 cards that he had was perfectly designed to incredibly, obsoletely counter everything that Master Hong had. Even if Master Hong played the best game of his life, I don't think he would have won with that deck.
Yeah, with the Mega Knight versus the P.E.K.K.A. I mean, that is the big choice for that deck. We see this deck quite a bit, actually. The Bandit, Royal Ghost, and things like that. The choice is, do you go Mega Knight or do you go P.E.K.K.A.? You go Mega Knight if you're expecting Hogs. You go P.E.K.K.A. if you're expecting Golems or the Mega Knight. The P.E.K.K.A. choice there by Big Daddy was just a perfect choice.
And we know one of the most played cards right now with the Prince being buffed up, it's going to be the Golem, it's going to be the Giant, all these things that are well supported by the Prince. It's such a big tool, and that means the anti-meta countered card is always going to be the P.E.K.K.A. and you're always going to be winning out, even against the Mega Knight, which seemed good in that last patch, but not so valid anymore because once that P.E.K.K.A. shows up, it's basically GG.
Yeah, Master Hong looks like he's getting ready to jump into this set number 2, but their 1 minute, I think, finally starts. Yeah, and AHQ have also called a timeout here. they need it.
They both did they need it. I mean, it's 1 minute basically away from possibly the last match. It is going to be match point for Kingsman and possibly just one game away from a second victory for Korea that they've really been hungry for all the time this weekend. We're looking at the replays now, and we saw basically the end of the story. When we saw that Pekka against the Mega Knight, Master Hong looking his face down, he knew what that meant.
Yeah, and I mean, every time that Big Daddy played a minor, it did so much damage. Even here, 1, 2, almost got 3 hits off there. That was his least effective minor, getting 2 hits because the Bandit charged into it, but it was all he needed. It was all he needed. Perfectly calculated.
The Mega Knight does look strong at times, but in instance where it goes up against the Pekka, it's the same elixir count. It basically has the same value as the Pekka, but once it goes face to face, the Mega Knight is not looking so scary anymore, and it's going to be just wanting to go back, but you know it's just going to charge forward and probably charging forward to its death. So Master Hong had the right idea, had that good play coming out, especially with the bridge spam, with the Bandit, with the Royal Ghost. We know it works out in a couple of instances in situational plays, but oh man, has he been countered out to the fullest? I think he has. So if this game too is kind of a better indication to us all, Master Hong bringing a deck that isn't countered by Big Daddy directly, and maybe Master Hong picking up the game too, might really serve up to his morale here.
Yeah, I think Master Hong bought that deck with the Mega Minion, with the Mega Knight, because of the Tornado ban, which might indicate the Royal Hogs, right? Because you don't want to get them tornadoed. Sure. So maybe he thought, I'll bring the Mega Knight because it's clear that Big Daddy is going to go for the Hogs. And I think that's where this counter happened. I think that's where this battle was won in the mind games.
Thinking directly to what that bank card means for a future deck that will be brought up by the opponent, maybe it was the first mistake by Master Hong, because the deck brought up by Big Daddy had nothing to do with banning Tornado. It had no correlation whatsoever. But you know, it doesn't all matter altogether, because it seems like Big Daddy is ready to dominate this performance and bring Kingsman a second victory for Korea. Can he do it? One match away. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, one match away from possibly just getting a blowout onto Southeast Asia. We don't really like to say that. In the past 2 days, absolutely blown out on the opposite direction. Korea dismantled time and time again, and it seems like day 3, finally they're woken up.
Yeah, if Kingzone DragonX win today, what this means is that the Korean region is almost settled, I would say, because Kingzone DragonX and Sandbox will be the ones to win here. They will be the ones going 1 win ahead of everyone else, and they're almost in an unreachable position.
And deservedly, really. I mean, we always see that, other than OP Gaming rising to the occasion this season, I mean, Season 1, Season 2, indifferent about the fact that Big Daddy with his team of Kingzone. You talk about Sandbox as well. These two teams are clearly the best teams out of Korea, and to put them on the top of the table would be a good thing to have.
You see the Lava Hound come down now for Big Daddy, and the Royal Hogs coming down. Does he have any answer? The Fireball does come in.
This is bad. On the right side, look at this. Damage coming through, even with the Rascal Girl not stopping in its track. And that's going to be infinite amount of damage on the right side. And that can be almost getting it down to 3-digit. Yes, it will. And 836 will be the count on the right side now. And it seems like the left side, no damage coming from the Lava Hound push.
Yeah, that is not a good position for Big Daddy. But the Inferno Dragon is there, and there is no E-Wiz because of the ban. A balloon comes down on the right-hand side, almost naked balloon here.
Just abandoning it.
Is there an answer?
There's no abandoning it. It has no answer for it. It's just abandoning the right tower. It's going to get the maximum value out of that balloon. It will get the third drop. Probably the tower with it too.
That's crazy.
Why?
Big Daddy just found the window. I mean, look at what Master Hong has for air defense.
The Rascals, that's it. Rascals, Inferno Dragon, Hunter, but he just used it.
Exactly. He waited for the perfect time in the cycle to throw down that naked balloon.
It's a Lava Balloon deck, and we know that with a Lava Balloon, you have to have the right air defense. And even with those Royal Hogs, you're going to feel pretty confident. But that Fireball coming through, you know the job is not going to be complete unless you get the job done here. The Bandit will get the charge in, will get the tower, and will get it back to even. But this Lava Hound push, that will still be coming through. All we're going to see the fruition coming in for Big Daddy here.
Yeah, the Hunter, once it gets taken down, the Rascals are there. The guards are the answer, and there's the balloon. That is what is important here.
Nothing.
The balloon is getting a couple of hits in from those Rascal Skulls, but he does get one
Oh,
drop.
the Inferno
And
Dragon,
will finish
it's
that
still
too.
charging in at 6:10 left, but look, it is on the left side. I was like just ignoring this entire thing at the bottom side, but it seems like Masteron will get the win after all.
Yeah, that poison, that tower was
What?
taken out by a bandit underneath as all the attention was at that top, and that will finish
Master Hong showing us a masterclass once again. You can never lose your faith on this guy. I kind of find myself guilty of doing that, but it seems like Master Hong, he's not here to go out. He's here to play. He's here to bring his game, his team back into set 3.
Yeah, all the attention, and even Master Hong knew this, all the attention was on that push on the top left-hand side. It was so close to going down. Everyone's attention was there. What he does, he slips in the bandit underneath, hits the tower.
The Royal
Stunned.
Ghost. And the Royal Ghost literally invisible. You know, that's what its purpose is trying to do, obviously being a ghost, but it was invisible to our eyes. We were just focused so much on the top left, and top bottom was absolutely dismantled from the side of Kingston.
Yeah, it did look rough though. That tower was almost down. It had about 300 HP left.
It did.
And I mean, the sacrifice here was weird, but when you look at his hands, he already used the Rascals, he already used the Hunter, he had nothing else there. That was a great fireball to deal the damage, but he had no answer himself. Big Daddy had no answer here for that bandit, so he has to let it go.
I don't know if that was the right answer coming in. Look at that Royal Ghost, look at that bandit. You talk about putting all the damage on, and Royal Ghost is free to do any type of damage it wants. Gets a live swipe, and that will be good enough for that poison in the end. 117, no slouch, and wow. I didn't expect that one. It seems like Master Hong was going to be able to lose out with that push coming with the balloon, but oh man, has he surprised us all once again?
It was perfectly calculated by Master Hong. He realized that he might just have enough to defend, and he did. I think it was calculated. I think it was very, very calculated in the fact that he didn't defend there as much, pushes forward on the offense, but will we see a repeat here as Master Hong took out Big Daddy before, or will Big Daddy be able to reverse this and close out match 2 today? Let's find out.
All the more that Master Hong continues to impress us is something that we always like to have a repeat note right after that one, and good luck being shown by Big Daddy once again. And finally, we get a reply. That is good to see.
Yeah, I mean, after game 1, Master Hong at the end said, well played, and that's where the thumbs up came from. So they are willing to engage each other in this emote war.
And you know what it is? All you need is the right type of the mannerism into play, and it seems like Big Daddy will just get a smacking. And they're asking, boy, just get it.
Nah, nowhere near. Not even close. I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on. Now we can see the bandit just charging through, and the Princess Tower is going to help out with the extinguishing of this bandit, and will get just about even of a damage trace. So no charge coming in. A Goblin gang right at the bridge here, and we're going to see the Royal Ghost doing a very good job. 4 Goblin all at once. Talk about value.
That was a great swing there by that Royal Ghost. Takes out almost all of the gang, and can you imagine being the last Goblin alive? They're just like, where are my friends? What killed us all? But the Royal Hogs come in.
With the law coming in to take out the...
And the Hunter connects
well.
too.
The Hunter is going to get a couple of 2 hits here, and a 3rd hit. That's going to get it down to 865. Sometimes people kind of ignore the damage coming from the Hunter onto the tower, because those pellets do separate, but that damage right there was quite real, as you can see.
Yeah, that Hunter did so much damage and puts Master Hong at a massive advantage here. The Royal Ghost is coming up. Has to use the Miner on the defense.
This is looking bad for Big Daddy. When you have to use Miner on defense, you know something is not going right. It means like the main win condition that you already had for Big Daddy is going to be used on defense. This is not a good situation for Kingston right now.
Is it the win condition?
Minor
Poison, yeah. It is Minor Poison. There's the Inferno Dragon. So yeah, Minor Poison is the win condition here. So every time he uses the Minor defensively, it does mean he loses a tooth in his attack.
Poison once again coming towards Master Hong. The Royal Hog coming once again. And the Poison will take out all the skeletons in play. And the Royal Hogs are very much on their way to buying out the pieces of the bricks there. And seems like 388 will be the count for now. And the Rascals is going to be once again dismantled by this Royal Ghost, doing a very good job defensively.
Yeah, great positioning on that Bandit there to make sure the Miner didn't do that much damage to the tower. It only got one hit, so the Bandit was expertly placed. He read that, he read it perfectly.
And now with that Tombstone gone, I would imagine another series of Royal Ghosts will be coming through. But the Royal Hogs, are we going to see it to finish off this 172 on this count here? The Ice Spirit just trying to stall on, but these Royal Hogs, I don't know if they're going to be able to be stopped here because the Tombstone once again cycled through. Oh, but the log, prediction log, is not at the right place here, but still got to be good enough. And Master Hong showing us why that we should never be doubting it. And I mentioned this before, game 1, he was simply countered on his deck, but game 2 and game 3, fair play all across the board, and he shows us that he's a better player.
Yeah, I mean, he already had an out with the Poison alone, so the Hogs weren't necessary there, but he just used it anyway. He knew he had an out regardless, and his defense was almost perfect. That Miner rarely got hits onto the tower. There was always something there to stop him from hitting it.
It really takes a quick reaction time to get that right, because you talk about prediction into where that Miner will land. You sometimes have an idea, but sometimes you just kind of lose it altogether, and sometimes you have to rely on your reaction speed to make sure you catch the Miner before you summon that through. The latency is always there, but it seems like the latency just unnoticed for the side of Master Hong.
Yeah, we saw this first game, that P.E.K.K.A. was such a good choice. The Mega Knight had no chance at all. And every time Big Daddy played a Miner, it just dealt so much damage because Master Hong knew that the P.E.K.K.A. could be there at any minute.
Literally, when you see the P.E.K.K.A. on the opposite side, taking the damage from the Princess Tower and finding it against the Mega Knight and almost going even, that's when you know you're in trouble.
He just had no chance there. The Poison came down to finish it. Even with the Mega Knight and Bandit stopping that P.E.K.K.A., it just was not enough. And then in game 2, this balloon here, I mean, the choice of putting it in that spot for Big Daddy, unreal. There was no answer. He knew he had nothing in cycle. He just knew.
And you see how Master Hong looks so composed. Even after losing that tower, he knew what his next move was going to be. And that's just really, you gotta get props out for that one. Because the fact that you lose a tower with one unit, the balloon, charging in naked, and you know that basically coming back after a tower behind is gonna be a very difficult thing to do. It is easy to startle. Get startled from all of that, but it seems like Master Hong kept his cool, kept his composure, and knew exactly what his next steps were going to be. And this is the reason why he got the win. And it seems like that 2 seconds is not good enough, and 282 is what he survives for game 3. Once again, a masterclass of exactly how to convert the defense over to offense.
I feel like Big Daddy should have known the Royal Hogs were coming here. If he played the deck he played in game 1 with a Mega Knight instead of a P.E.K.K.A., he would have won that game.
Oh, definitely so. And Big Daddy, we saw the P.E.K.K.A. coming in from him with game 1, but Master Hong, if you just copy that deck onto yours in that game 3 for the side of Big Daddy, definitely the Mega Knight would have done wonders. And even the Poison going up against the Royal Hog, we know that that's never the best option. So not having the Fireball, not having the Mega Knight, it seemed as if game 3 was going to be pretty easy towards Master Hong.
Yeah, but we are going to go into the King of the Hill format here. Who do you think they're going to bring? Do you put Expo Master in slot 1 and hope for a sweep?
Do you get a sweep? I mean, you're fighting against Master Hong, and I don't even know if Expo Master, even the great prestige that he has, I don't know if he's going to be able to just cleanly and easily beat out Master Hong here.
Well, even if he takes out Master Hong, SB is still on the roster here.
Yeah.
He's in the active roster. He's the 4th player. So we could see him in this King of the Hill as well. Can you imagine that as a challenge? Master Hong game 1, SB game 2, and then Jacquet or Yao Yao in game 3. That's like Dark Souls in hard mode. Like, that's Dark Souls with no controller. You know, it's
playing Dark
almost
Souls with no
impossible.
controller.
Yeah, it's an almost impossible task.
Almost?
Almost impossible.
How do you beat it? How has it even become possible? You tell me that one later in the story, but...
Mind power, mate.
Hey,
Mind
you know what
power.
it is? Hey, we're going to this story where we're going to probably see Master Hong. We're probably going to see SB. And we're going to get Shaka. And Shaka, you think think that he's just one of a scapegoat for Kingston to really just beat out, and basically it's just a 3v2, but no. Shaka has been a primary 1v1 player for AHQ eSports in the entirety of Season 1, when these other two players weren't in the roster with him. And it seems like Shaka ready to take on and just be as serious to take down Kingston right here.
Yeah, SB is such a good player as well in that first slot. I could see AHQ here getting a sweep. With SB, anything is possible.
Hey, if SB gets the sweep right here, you have convinced me. And you
right.
were talking about him all day long today. Talking about just literally being in a lecture, talking about SB, and I've never seen him play before, but you tell me before this broadcast began that this guy is a wonder, and this guy is something that we really need to pay attention to, and finally we get a chance to do it. Let's see if he pulls up the trigger.
Yeah, SB was the NA Combine champion. He beat so many good players along the way, and then signs for AHQ. And honestly, if anyone can do this, SB can. Yesterday, he made Season2 look like a 2000 trophy scrub.
That's unfortunate, and he might be. I mean, he might be back down to 2000 trophy, but all the jokes aside, SB, I'm in for a surprise. I'm really in, because the last time he made his debut, it was a good effort, but really not convincing enough to get the win, and I wasn't really convinced altogether. And now we're looking at a second rendition of SB that you were talking about being so impressive against Season2. We're gonna get the third time around. Third time's a charm for SB and see what he does.
Yeah, he does. But Ho is his opponent. Ho has won King of the Hill match and lost to KK. And overall, his 1v1, he is 2-3 in terms of games. 1 win, 1 loss. He beat Dabong TV and lost to Manong GP. But SB, this guy, I mean, he lost to Lampo and destroyed Season2 yesterday.
I mean, look at this guy. He looks so composed and so just enjoying this whole entire situation. And Jerry-san is going to be the big daddy on the sidelines, trying to coach up this youngster, trying to see what we can get done for the King of the Hills. And talk about being a youngster, you can have all that responsibility to maybe get the whole sweep. That's the entire team of Kingston, a team that we always talk about being the best team out of the Korean region. But SB, if he makes this happen, if he pulls off a good talent right here, he's going to be remembered for a very long time.
Yeah, and let's talk about the bans Inferno Dragon and P.E.K.K.A. What does it mean? P.E.K.K.A, I think, means maybe Golem decks?
Yeah, Golem decks are possible, Giant decks are possible, all these big units that are coming through, but even without the Inferno Dragon, it has to be. Beatdown deck is definitely going to be prevalent here.
Yeah, with both of these bans, actually, Beatdown has a very strong showing. There aren't many counters left in the pool.
Inferno Tower, that's about it.
Sparky?
Sparky in this best of the King of the Hills, and you talk about set 3, literally deciding whether you're going to take the win, second one for Korea, or whether it's going to be a further sweep of Southeast Asia over Korea. Sparky is a very risky pick. Simon, I don't know if I can agree with you on that one.
I think we can see it. I think there is a very strong chance we will see it.
Strong chance, you say.
Strong chance.
You and your Dark Soul playing without a controller on hard mode, saying it's almost impossible. Here we go once again, Simon.
I'm going to say Sparky does have a 100% win ratio. And if he doesn't, he does in my heart. So, Sparky is a perfect answer here.
You know,
unbeaten.
I think it's a little bit too late for this.
Actually, Wizard now has a
Wizard
100% win ratio.
Yeah, Wizard does well against these type of decks as well as the Golem, Beatdown, and the Giant. It does well in all these units that will come through. Ho, I think he's ready. Just trying to see if this 2v2 personnel from King Zone will be able to beat out the superstar that we have recently seen arise in front of SB. But let's get into game number 1. If this King of the Hill, SB, can he surprise us like he did last time around? His first opponent is Ho from King Zone DragonX. See if he gets the game 1 victory. Let's get into the game. SB setting up on the top side, telling him good luck. Ho does not reply, so it's a little bit busy just summoning those skills, and that's understandable.
Yeah, Ice Spirit from SB and a Mega Minion in the back. No one really showing. Oh, but there we go. Ho shows that he is playing a 3 Musketeer deck. The Fireball comes in, essentially nullifying the 2 Musketeers there.
Yeah, but what about that 1 Musketeer on the left? We got the Gods coming in from the front, and three Royal Hogs going to be jumping in on the left, and the Musketeer and the P.E.K.K.A. just working in partnership to make sure the damage does come through. And also again, the Ice Spirit does a very good job of stopping the damage coming from that one Musketeer.
Yeah, the mini P.E.K.K.A. on the defense there was just incredible. One hit, one kill on those Hogs. The mini P.E.K.K.A. definitely has bacon for breakfast today.
That's what it is, and we're going to see it just go out from defense coming in from Ho, and it's going to be very much validated. But SB, really other than defending, he hasn't really sent out an offensive tool himself, so that last reveal car is something that we might see come into play.
It is the Giant, as I can see in his hand. He is tapping it here. So
is it the Giant? Oh.
It is a Giant, man.
Giant 3 Muskies is something so commonly seen, but
no,
this time it's going to be a Giant.
SB has the Giant.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a Giant 1 Musketeer deck. This is what I'm surprised about. And we're going to see what happens here. The Fireball will get all 3. That's maximum value for SB. He's going to be very, very happy about that one.
Yeah, that was calculated by inches.
That was timely. Because if it was a little bit late, that would have missed all the Musketeers.
Yeah, it was. Each of those Musketeers was on the edge of the radius, and down comes the Giant. What does Ho have to answer?
Fireball.
He does try to answer with the Musketeer, with the Hogs there. A lot, and the Musketeer will clean this up, and how much damage is going to get done? Probably down to about 1,500 there. Yeah, 1,650. So what are we going to see? The Hunter is a great answer to the Giant, though.
But not at far range, though, as you can already notice. And the Zap and the Fireball will be good enough. And the 3 Muskies are finally back to get the action back on the way. And the Giant and the Musketeer in coordination will do a lot of damage already to this left tower. 903 on the count. The Ice Spirit on the right will do the defense for the side of SB. But on the left side, what have we got?
Yeah, on that right, we do see the Hogs come down, and the mini P.E.K.K.A. is used against the Royal Ghost there.
I think this is a good one for Ho. I think you just get the log back out of the way, but these 2 Musketeers are not going to be well defended for.
The Ice Spirit does come in. That's going to hold it. He's only going to take a little bit more damage on that tower.
That's actually brilliant. Out of the defense, that quick cycle that was coming from Ho. I thought he was going to be heavily punished, but that one elixir trade of the Ice Spirit to make sure to small and minimize the damage for SB was very well taken down there.
Yeah, this time Ho puts the Hogs down on the other side. The Fireball comes in. The Musketeer will clean them up before they get to the tower. One Hog, though, on the right with the 2 Muskies and the Ice Spirit on the other side. That is dangerous for that tower. It's the last card, Fireball.
And it seems like that's going to be coming into play here. 602 on the right side, 532 as we see continual offense coming from the other end. The Poison is going to be the last revealed card, but one more bite coming in, 48-21, and that will be it with the log, and that will be the one to knock out SB. Once again, Simon, you talk about impossibilities in play. SB is already knocked away.
I don't care. SB is still one of my favorites. He is so, so good. And Ho there just played. That's the, actually, I'm going to say it now. That is the best I have seen Ho play ever.
That was good. I think the cycle really did outdo the side of SB, and SB had a pretty relatively tough cycle to outcycle all those skeletons, all those Ice Spirits that were coming through. Even the Ice Golem with the 2 elixir cycle, that was going to be a quick one with the 3 Musket just really being fooled out to thinking that all those things were going to come into play at the right time. But you have so many Fireball baits with the, obviously the Royal Hogs, with the 3 Muskies, and you know you're going to have to send the Fireball one way or the other, and you're eventually going to be outcycled, which was it.
Yeah, we did see some really clutch Fireballs from SB, though. That one where he catches all 3 Musketeers right on the very edge of the radius of the Fireball. And then some of the Fireballs on the Hogs were also incredible, but he just didn't have enough AoE really to be able to defend against those Hogs. But we are going to see Jacquet up next against Ho. This is a much more interesting matchup because Jacquet can take this very easily.
So looking at the highlight from that game 1 of this King of the Hill, this was the most dangerous push that was coming in from the side of SB, but 3 Muskies once again didn't have a Fireball for that one, and he's going to get the multiple amount of shots, I think, for those pellets. And 3 Muskies gets maximum value, and it's really being untouched here. And once again, very focused from the side of Ho, and really the one to really come out with the victory there. And understandably, that will be the one to really grab the victory for the side of Kings of DragonX.
Do you think the double Giant that SB played on that push that did all the damage, do you think that was a big reading?
He was kind of just regretting the fact that he didn't save up the fireball for the 3 musket that was going to be summoned right at the middle. And no matter how heavy your push is, you're eventually going to be knocked away because the 3 musketeers coming with 9 elixirs is always going to be advantage as long as it's not taken care of.
I feel the double giant on that left-hand side was just an interesting choice because the musketeer was sandwiched between the 2 of them. And that giant never reached the tower. I don't think it was necessary for that push to work.
In theory, if the 3 muskets didn't do that much DPS over time, that one giant still pushing the tower was relatively healthy. So it was going to reach into the tower first. And that second giant coming from the bridge was eventually going to cross that musketeer and become the front line once again by passing through the musketeers. So in theory, it would have worked out, but the DPS came too quickly with those 3 muskets, heading down to the giant a little bit quicker than what SB initially thought.
Fair point. I'll agree with that, yeah. I think you're right. But this match, Ho and Jacquet, do you think we're going to see Ho bring a similar deck? Do you think he's going to change it up?
I think really SB was caught off by surprise. I think that surprise factor was the biggest impact that got Ho win the game. But the second game, I wouldn't think so. I just think that some other plan will be up in line for Kingzone DragonX to really see if they can catch another HQ player by surprise. Because Shake, he's ready to go. He's ready to win. But if he's surprised again, startled again, it seems like Ho can win another one.
Yeah, I think Jacquet is not going to be surprised here. Jacquet knows what he needs to do. He knows how to do it. That is the type of player he is. But we are ready to get into Game 2 of this King of the Hill between Kingzone DragonX's Ho and AHQ Esports Club's Jacquet. So here we go. Jacquet in red at the top of the screen, Ho in blue at the bottom.
We're going to start it off with Ho just on the bats. And we're going to see the split pod just cycling through. Electro Wizard right there. We're going to see the Elixir Collector from Ho. I told you it's going to be a little bit different, but finally we're going to see a very aggressive push. Seeing that Elixir Collector going to take care of the advantage that the Elixir fleet that they initially had bought the minion horde is going to be an absolute nightmare for Ho, and it just seems like the lightning will be the answer, but it's a little bit too late. Already Elixir Collector has done its work here.
Doesn't matter though. That giant got so much damage done. Oh, the battering ram almost connected, but 2 barbarians and 2 minions remain.
That's it.
That tower is not long for this
gone.
ball.
It's gone. There's no way it's going to survive for that one, but as I say that, Electro Wizard is going to be there in time. 207 on the left. If you talk about why that was important to make sure that Elixir Collector didn't go out, was that the giant and the things pushed in with the Electro Wizard, and it got decent damage, getting down to 1076. But otherwise, just that Electro Wizard in that situation when the minion horde was able to get damage out, it's basically over.
That's it. What anti-air really does Jacquet have here? It doesn't look like he's actually bought any anti-air. Nothing to defend these the minion hordes that are coming in.
Yes, lightning, but against the minion horde, let's do that one.
He has Hunter and Electro Wizard. That's it from what we can see.
Hunter does well against the mini horde situationally, but in that instance when the giant is rushing with it, no way on that one.
Yeah, it looks like Jacquet has definitely been hard countered here by Ho. Ho, his deck is just... I will say that this is purely the minion horde that is winning this, because there is just no anti-air for Jacquet.
And it's the deck creativity. That's why you have to really congratulate him upon, because Ho really talk about surprising out your opponent. Last time around, the mini horde once again here. And there's nothing for him to do. Electro Wizard in the middle of all of those things is definitely not going to survive for the longest time. And we're going to see once again getting it down to 151. It is only a couple of spells away, and the giant rushing in on the left, hoping to get the right answer, but the 3 muskies is going to finally make its reveal, and it's going to only get 2 of the muskies. So I don't know if that was the best deal whatsoever, but still moving towards just get this 1 tower. Eventually will, but the full tower on the right side is going to be at the wall for Shake, as only 151 remains on his left tower.
Yeah, and Ho doesn't have a spell to finish this out. The zap only does 56 damage, which means he's going to need 3 to be able to take that
anything.
tower.
Talk about the Hunter gone. Now you have the Electro Wizard hoping to do all the right things, but okay, so we're going to see a rush in coming through it. That's it.
Musk is in the pocket. That's all he needed there. And Ho takes game 2 against AHQ Esports Club. And this is not something I was expecting. Ho, traditionally in this team, never really shows what he's capable of. But today, he's showing that he deserves his place on the team.
It was his deck selection more than anything. I mean, he knew how to surprise his opponents from multiple days in and out. And Xhaka, I was talking about him being a decent player himself, but if he's going to be started like that after seeing those minion horde literally take down the majority of your tower, you got to stay composed and figure out a way to counter that the next time around. He didn't, and the minion horde, the same round with those giants, took out the entirety of that second tower on the right side. That means you know that Xhaka has definitely lost his mind, and you're not going to win with that mentality.
Yeah, but I mean, he had nothing really to defend.
Hunter, Ice Spirit, that's all you really need.
In that first push, he already used Hunter and Ewiz. I don't think he played enough cards to have them back in cycle.
That's what I'm saying.
With the Elixir. So it's all down to Master Hong. Either way, Ho gets a clean sweep, or Master Hong gets a reverse sweep.
We've seen this happen to OGN, where one crown, once the first man up, does get 2 victories in a row and does get slaughtered down. And that one player that beat one crown is the one to defeat the whole roster of LGN. And it can happen. Master Hong, of course, a lot of pressure under him to defeat 3 members of King Zone, but you know, he's got to do it one at a time here. Ho's going to be the first one up, but it's a lot of pressure for HQ, especially for Master Hong right now.
Yeah, but you talk about pressure, and then Master Hong is like throwing out telephone signals, like dancing behind his podium. That guy is not feeling the pressure of what he needs to do for AHQ Esports Club to take the victory here.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We're going to find out, but you know, Ho is just making sure he's ready to go on this one. Master Hong trying to stay put, trying to stay cool under pressure from all of this that will come through. He knows situationally it can be a very tough one. Master Hong literally needs to win 3 games in a row. It can be a very tough feat. But Ho just needing to get 1 to get the match point. See if he can do it. One more match left to go for Kings of DragonX. Can he do it? Let's find out.
So match point now for Kingzone DragonX's Ho. Or will Master Hong be able to reverse this and take the victory for AHQ Esports Club? We're about to get into this, and let's see if the deck selection that Ho brings now will finish this 3rd game.
Might be a lava loon right here for Ho as he stands at the tombstone, but we're still in the unknown question mark about it. And the Ice Wizard comes into play on the right side, just cycling through it. Baby Dragon is very much aggressive in the front line and trying to make sure he gets the little skeleton with every little spit that he does. And Mega Minion is going to be there on the right side on defense for Ho, and it's going to be able to survive for the time being. It's going to be a huge push coming in on the opposite end. The Royal Hog's doing a very good job, and the Log's going to do some damage to this, but Ho's going to miss out on the Lumberjack. He might just regret on that one, but still gets the good damage with those Royal Hogs, starting with the game here.
The Golem needs to come down for Master Hong relatively soon, because this is definitely a Golem deck, right? There is no way this isn't a Golem deck, and you can actually see it if you look at the top, the left-hand side of the screen. So he is going to be playing the Log deck against the 3 Hogs, and that is not a great matchup because you never really carry that much AoE.
Just trying to defend first because you're not reaching the 1 minute mark where Master Hong was waiting to send out that Golem. We're going to see what happens here because it seems all throughout we're going to get the defense still very much going for Master Hong, just waiting for that 1 minute mark. And once again, they're going to see all this come into play. The fireball that will be very prevalent. It's going to get the Tornado to reel these piggies right into the King's Tower, opening it up by 843. You're going to feel a little bit nervous if you're Master Hong.
Yeah, 843 remaining. Those Hogs are getting so much work done for Ho here. And I'm not sure if Master Hong has an answer to the Hogs if they come down right now. And a cannon card.
Oh, nothing. Okay, he's going to have the Night Witch. It will destroy the cannon for the meantime, but it means no Night Witch right behind the goal, and that's going to be something of an extra utility tool that he's going to lose out now.
Yeah, it weakens the push ever so slightly for Master Hong, and the Hogs are coming in. The Fireball against the Baby Dragon and the Tower, and that Tower is, oh, it took so much damage, down to 322, and the Tombstone to pull that Golem over to the other side. The Lumberjack comes in. for Master Hong. Is he going to be able to go to the tower?
Oh,
Beautiful.
good tornado going towards the cannon card. Just going to pull it all the way. Oh, and the counter tornado to bring the cannon card right back in action. It's doing its job, and the golem is still pushing on, and the lumberjack was very much of a threat. For the meantime, 979, as we're going to see 926, still pushing forward here. The baby dragon raged up with the mega minion coming in the front. That's got to get the tower, and Master Hong will get the victory with 1 second left to go.
That was ridiculously close there for Master Hong. He looked on the back foot 98% of that game and just gets, I think it was just one golem push, right? He only saw one golem push to take out that tower, and it was enough.
Right at the 58-second mark, when his full elixir did prompt him to go forward with this. Oh, it's so close, and he knew exactly what this meant. Oh, if it's turned this to be an OGN situation, into a situation where you win the first 2 games in this King of the Hills and you get that player knocked away and the next 2 player falls along with him. We've seen this from OGN. Hope we don't see it from Kingdom, but it seems like a best-ditch effort is needed to defeat this ultimate player that we know is Master Hong, who's been looking unstoppable today.
I will say that Ho should not hang his head at all.
Oh,
2
great.
wins is 2 wins more than I think anybody was expecting from him. And honestly, he played fantastic. He almost had that game. A little bit of extra luck, a little bit of, you know, one more hug cycle. He would have won it.
Well, here we are. You know, Big Daddy is going to be the one to really try his chances again towards Master Hong, who he did face up against in that previous set 2 in that 1v1, where his surprising deck in that game 1 did counter him with that P.E.K.K.A. against the Mega Knight. That did work up, but game 2 and game 3, he was absolutely cleaned up by Master Hong's perfect position and the precision that he showed with each move that he made.
So the rematch here is going to take us to 4 games between these two. Will it end 3-1 or 2-2? That is the question we need to know between these 2 players.
I would imagine Master Hong is feeling pretty confident about his lucks right now. It seems like the way that he beat him out in game 2 and game 3 wasn't about deck counters. It was about purely of his skills being able to outdo the likes from Kingzone. And Master Hong still undefeated in terms of anyone trying to challenge him. And it hasn't worked out so far. And Big Daddy having another go at it before an Expo Master is going to be brought up to the table. But definitely it's still a tough matchup for this guy, seemingly just still on match point.
I am pretty sure Big Daddy can do this, but Master Hong has just looked unstoppable. Game 2, Game 3 of set 2, and then Game 3 of this King of the Hill. He's looked ridiculously good.
Been an absolute monster, and we know what that means for Master Hong, because he still has a lot of work to do. He needs to beat 2 more players, and that includes Big Daddy, which he's already beaten in that set 2. Set 3, King of the Hill. Can he do it again? Let's find out. Let's get into this once again. Good luck's being thrown out on both sides, and oh wow, being shown up by Big Daddy. He's surprised about something there.
Probably surprised that he had to play right now. That Master Hong has, you know, started the reverse sweep, defeated him before. That's probably why the wows are coming out.
You know.
I mean, we could create any story about those wows, and that is the worst one I possibly could.
Hey, you know, I'll create a better one right now. He's probably. Big Daddy's probably saying wow because of your statement about Dark Souls just about a little bit earlier about beating in a hard mode. Almost impossible was your phrase of thought. So now we'll say well to that too, and Big Daddy agrees with me here.
Either that or he's channeling his inner Owen Wilson.
Either that or
Wow.
he... Hey, you know what? Either that or he just made a mistake. That could be possible too.
All right, so we do see the Mega Minions here. It looks as though Master Hong is once again bringing a Golem deck, but the Lava Hound comes down. So he's going to try and sneak in that Lumberjack.
Oh my goodness, that's it! Oh, the guard's just in time. I thought that was going to be the difference maker right now. And this heavy risk that Master Hong just pulled for himself, this might cost him here.
I don't think it's going to cost him that much. The poison does come down, and only one of the pups survives. Very well timed poison. Knew exactly when to do it, but that was almost the craftiest Lumberjack I've ever seen. The window was open. and suddenly Big Daddy just closed it in his face.
Okay, now we see the tombstone on the other side for Big Daddy, just trying to reel in the golem as furthest as he can. But the Master Hong, we know this is a very conventional, typical meta golem deck right now in this meta. If they see the Prince, that will be the completion of what I know about this deck.
Yep. I don't think we're going to see the Prince in this one, though. So he does throw down the Mega Minion, to take on that Lava Hound. As the minions come in from Big Daddy, which are going to clean that up. The Night Witch summoned really far back, which means the bats are going to try and take down that Lava Hound. There's going to be 4 bats against it. Fireball comes in to take those out, though. The pups are there. The pups are doing damage. But look at the damage being done by that golem at the bottom. 1,276 remains on Big Daddy's bottom right, and 1,252 is on Master Hong's top right.
Very similar right now in terms of damage, and this golem once again is going forward with this lumberjack trying to speed things up. And the baby dragon is there just to clean out the tombstone as best as he can. And once again, the Night Witch is trying to provide defense and provide those extra bats for support here. And it seems like the golem is going to be tornadoed away, just making sure that explosion damage doesn't come towards the tower.
Yeah, and this time it looks as though Big Daddy has a huge advantage in his attack, but that baby dragon does so much work. 356 remain.
That's it.
Poison comes down. He does need extra damage off this poison, so the baby dragon is going to be there. Will he be able to get any hits? No. The Lava Hound comes in.
One more poison.
Big Daddy has to finish this.
Doesn't even have to have the golem right now. He just needs to defend until he can just basically get long, and one more poison onto the one shot from the back. Almost would have done it, but the poison is all he needs. And Master Hong, as we kind of imagined this would be, a reverse sweep well into action now. And this final match will probably conclude the domination of this player you see right now on your screen. Master Hong, truly a masterclass this entire day and the entire weekend.
Yeah, but there is one final boss for King's Own DragonX, and that is Expo Master.
They're all smiling, knowing that, oh, we got the boss coming in, you guys are in trouble now. And we're going to see the Expo Master come in, and oh, look at Master Hong, he's scared. That's the face you make when you see a final boss come into the battlefield, and you know, if you're Master Hong, you're trying to act like you're not nervous, but his nerves are definitely tingling right now.
Yeah, the memes about Expo Master and King's Own DragonX that have been flying around Twitter have been absolutely hilarious, where it's like all 4 players and it's just Expo's portrait.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the dream team. But it doesn't matter. Expo Master is just one man.
You get 1/4 of that dream team right now, because he's going to be up to go on this match point to defeat one more opponent. Master Hong is going to be there. Expo Master 6590 is going to be the one to really put up the trophy count, and 2-1 currently in that 1v1 scoreline. But King of the Hills, look at that. 4 wins and 0 losses. Under pressure situation, this guy, the team leader of Kings of DragonX, has never dropped a single game.
Yeah, so just looking at the games, he beat KK from Game With to close off that match. Then he all killed Onos Sports. One of the strongest teams. He beat Roller Poron, he beat Mick Camboya, and then he beat Raiki Joe.
Absolutely incredible. You just can't ignore the statistics on that one. You beat Game With, you beat KK, very dominant player to finish him off, and also you beat an entire side of basically the champions of last season. Absolutely incredible.
I mean, this guy is the real deal when it comes to 1v1. He can play anything, and he can play against anything. We've seen him play decks that have been hard countered by his opponent, and he just takes them to school. Are we going to see that now? I'm not sure.
Quite literally the final boss for Master Hong. He has done so well to get to this point. Reverse sweep almost is in completion, but the final boss awaits with Master Hong going up against Expo Masters to see who the real master is going to be after all this match point. Let's get underway. This is so important because Expo Master has not dropped a single game in this King of the Hill format. 4 wins and 0 losses.
But this is where it could all change. Master Hong has shown that he is an incredible player time and time again in this league. Is he going to be able to show it now? The Lumberjack comes down. Expo drops down the Ice Golem.
on the right side. I think he would have dropped it on the left side just to pull things away and has to waste another long. So 2 extra Glitzers spent just to stop the attack.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter as he climbs up to 10 Elixir at the same time that Master Hong has been sitting on 10 Elixir. And right now...
Oh, Expo. Are you serious? Are we going to see the Expo from the Expo Master? Are we going to see this? Are we going to see? We're going to see the Archers, and that means the Expo is going to be coming through into play. The lightning will be there, but the damage is already happening.
Yeah, it's already connected onto the tower, and
Oh
this is
my
what we like to
goodness.
see from Expo Master. So much damage being done here. The Ice Spirit there takes out the bats as the tower cleans up that Night Witch, and I mean, Expo Master here has made a huge lead for himself.
That was the most welcoming set of Archers I've ever seen in my cast of Clash Royale. I wanted to see the Expo from the Expo Master. How fitting! Finally, we get it.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this a long time. I got to see it in CCGS last year, and now I get to see it in
Brilliant.
CRL Asia. It doesn't connect.
Oh, it's against the Golem deck, the hard counter to the Expo deck. We know how frustrating it can be to play against the Golem deck if you are Expo player, but the Inferno Tower is going to change that story.
Yeah, the Inferno Tower replacing the Tesla Tower here is great, but the Inferno Tower connected onto the Lumberjack, which is going to rage up those Golems just enough so that they can finish off that Expo. And you saw Expo Master there blow up his fringe. He was not happy at that.
And seeing the Golem deck is an absolute devastation if you are Expo Master. Putting out the Archers once again, putting out the Expo, just in quick cycle over the Golem that will eventually come forward, but the damage will be coming from towards the Tombstone and towards the Night Witch as well. Doesn't even have enough elixirs now. Summon the Golem. I think he just might, but just gonna go for the Lightning instead, but still taking a lot of damage. 620 on the right side now.
Yeah, got 4 hits with that Expo there. A very good thing for Expo Master. All he needs is that repeated 3 or 4 more times and he's going to have this. And the Expo dropped again, but the Golem is there to tank this up.
The Inferno Tower will be awaiting to take down and melt down the entirety of this push, and the Expo will all be so ready to take out the remainder of the side of Master Hong. It seems like over time we're gonna see the end of all this. The Archers helping out on defense. The Mega Minion will be there as well, looking towards all this great defense once again, cycling through. It's gonna be a really quick cycle going back to the Expo once again. All we're gonna see, 536, is that gonna be good enough?
Well, we gotta wait and see. Expo Masters has been defending inch perfectly right now. He is taking very little damage on his towers, but that could all change. That was a good lightning there. And the tower is down.
Let's Golem. I don't know if it's going to be able to stop here by Expo Master. He's trying to go for all the defense, trying to cycle through every single unit that he has. The Golem will make the explosion. 1709 on the right side. The Golemites are pushing through. The Mega Minion is pushing in. And we're still going to see the defense pretty successful there. 1391. All we can see the Expo now.
Yeah, those Archers. MVP there. He had 4 of them at the same time. But the problem is Master Hong can keep cycling to this Golem. The poisons are coming down. He does need a few more poisons to be able to finish this off, though. Actually, yeah, he needs 2 poisons or that log. He needs 1 poison, and there it is.
Oh my
Expo
goodness.
Master.
Oh my goodness.
Why are you so good at playing Expo? That was ridiculous.
When his team needs him to pull out the final boss card, it is such a big tool to have an Expo for the Expo Master. Unbeatable. Even Master Hong, the player that we thought would be unbeatable at this stage, could not go up against Expo Master's Expo.
You take out Ho, you take out Big Daddy, you awaken the beast inside the Expo Master. He throws that Expo down. He doesn't even care if Expo has been doing terribly right now in the meta. We've seen Expo dropping grand challenges. We've seen Expo drop in ladder. It doesn't matter. Expo Master will make it work. And by God, he made it work there, even though his opponent bought the Golem deck, which makes it a near impossible matchup.
I'm saying it right now. Expo Master pulling out the Expo in a 1v1 match is legally cheating. You just can't do it.
Well, this is
how is anyone supposed to win?
Well, I mean, how is anyone supposed to beat Expo in 1v1 in general? This guy plays everything that well.
This is the story, guys. This is what we've been waking up to. Korea has been waiting for that first win over this last 2 days. 6 losses in a row in this encounter between this region and Southeast Asia. In the 7th one, Sandbox finally pulls out the savior hat to give the first win in that match number 7. But in match number 8, Kingzone wasn't satisfied enough unless they got a win of their own. And it seems that it went all the way down to the King of the Hills, not knowing whether they will be able to get that second win for Korea. But if you can't get it, literally force your way to get that done. And Expo for the Expo Master was seemingly the secret weapon that was never been revealed before, but it's finally showing us once again how strong it is.
Yeah, I mean, Expo Master pretty much reminding us why he is the master, you know? But we saw here, like, Hope played phenomenally. He got it down.
That second tornado was brilliant. That would have killed off the game if that first tornado just stayed as intact and the cannon card was left stranded. That tornado on that counter for Ho was very, very nicely done.
But Master Hong still took it. Didn't matter. He still won.
Ho did so well. He did not deserve to lose that one, but altogether, you were talking about the significance of this match. We talk about Big Daddy trying to do it once again to Master Hong. He was forever a loser against Master Hong. He just can't beat him. But it seems like they needed a hero. Jean of Arc. You need anybody to come in as that person with the shining sword, and that shining sword becoming the Expo for Expo Master. What a story it was.
Yeah, did you say John of Arc?
Yeah.
Joan of Arc, dude. All right, the Expo comes in, and honestly, it connected with that tower. That after that first connection, and there was very little answer from Master Hong, it was pretty much over. You never let Expo Master take an advantage. However, that was dangerous. The 4 archers just went to town on the defense.
Basically, it's Jean in French where she originated from, so it is correct.
It's Joan, dude.
It's Joan
Joan.
in the freaking
Anyway.
London, UK is where is Joan played. Hey, you know what it is? Kingzone DragonX got the win. We're feeling pretty happy that Expo Master finally got to use the Expo. Oh, I would like to hear from him there. I mean, it's gonna get to a short interview very, very soon, guys, but let us hear directly from the man himself, Expo Master, explaining why he is the Expo.
네, 승리를 가져간
Got the win,
DragonX의
Kingzone DragonX.
선수와
And finally, talking with Expo Master,
먼저
it's a great
축하의
honor
말씀을
once
먼저
again.
드리겠습니다. 소감 먼저 간단하게
How do you feel?
오늘 AHQ전 되게 중요한
It was a very
경기였는데
important match against AHQ, but
마지막까지 가는
we
접전이었지만
went
이어서
all the
정말
way to the end,
기뻤습니다.
literally to the last string, so we're glad to get the win.
황치정 선수 같은 경우는 대석장 같은 경우는
I mean, you talk about
웬만해서는 대석장
you
잘안
never
꺼내거든요.
really put out the Expo unless you're in a dire situation, an emergency card that you always pull out in the most critical situation.
마지막에 대형 석공을 꺼낸 이유가 좀
What is the
있나요?
reason that you pulled out the Expo?
연습을 미리 했던 건지 뭐 마스터 나오면 이걸 뭐
Maybe you thought that Master Hong wouldn't be defeated by any other decks here.
일단 마스터 선수가 되게 골렘을 심도 높게 쓰는 걸
I know
보고
that Master
저도
Hong really likes to use
속공으로
a
한 수
golem,
가르쳐 드리겠다는 생각으로
and I wanted to show him that I can beat the golem deck with an Expo deck, so that's the only reason I picked it up. How brutal that is.
어떻게 본인이
Expo
한 수
Master is
제대로
so
좀
brutal.
가르쳐 준 것 같습니까? 이것이 바로 마스터다.
Do you feel like you are
오늘
truly the
제대로
master of the
상대역
Expo?
시켜드린 것 같습니다.
I think I've definitely proved it more than enough now.
교육에 대한 열의가 굉장하지 않나라는 그런 생각이 듭니다. 기름 중에서도 참기름
And really,
찍어보거든요.
just talking about how the quality of your plays today being
오늘
so
경기 일단 승리를
significant.
가져가면서 어찌
And you do get the
보면은
first win of this
샌드박스와의
weekend,
격차가
and
조금 줄어들
with
수 있었던 걸.
Sandbox, obviously,
조금 좀,
who could have taken your lead in that top spot, but you do regain that for yourself with one
이번에
more
다시
lead
한번 또
over
1위
these
해서
guys. And
우승해서 월드 파이널 가게
it feels like you
되면
guys are now reaching for that World Finals, trying to get to that stage. It's going to be the tool.
유일하게
And
2연속
do you
그랜드
feel like
파이널
maybe the
진출이거든요.
second win
네.
in a row
우리 뭐
is what you're
당연히
trying
뭐
to do?
그랜드 파이널 진출 가능할 것
And trying to go
같습니다.
to the World Finals. Is that a possibility for you
일단
now?
저는 당연히 월드 파이널 진출을
I think
목표로 하고 있고
네.
really trying to
유일한 한국 선수가
make
되기
the
위해서
goal
노력하고
towards the
있습니다.
getting to the
유일한,
World Final. And I think all the
왜냐면
players are
작년에
thinking of the same line.
모 선수 윤모 겔라 선수 있었잖아요. 그 선수는 올해는
maybe
월드 파이널에 선수를 못 가거든요.
you were
진짜
talking
유일한 선수
about,
될 수 있습니다. 어떻게 충분히
They'll
가능합니다
too.
이런
I'm
거.
not being able to go to this
저희
time
팀은
around, but maybe we
항상
want to make difference
우승을
here.
갈망하기 때문에 가능하다 생각하고
I
네.
think we are working hard. We're trying to improve as a team. So I think it's a true possibility. So hoping we can get there.
그러나 뭐 해서 열심히 잘하고 있지 않습니까? 자 그리고 AHQ와는 사실
And with
굉장히
AHQ,
친한 팀으로 잘 알고
and we
있어요.
know
뭐
as a
대만에 그때 또
Taiwanese
원정
team
경기
that
갔을 때도
does
좀
so well
도움을
for the
많이
NCAA
받았다고
region.
제가 들었는데 HQ에게 또 어떤 도움을
And
받았는지
for maybe HQ, what kind of help that you got from these
일단
guys?
뭐 AHQ 연습실 가서 같이
And we
훈련한다던가
did get to go to the HQ
같이
team house and
밥도
got to
먹고
practice with them.
그런 되게 광범위한 그런
And we got to share some insights that
그러면
really
대만에서
broaden our
HQ
range
거기
for understanding for
연습실에서 연습하고 막
various
그러면
things of Clash Royale.
밥은 누가 사나요?
당연히
Who bought food, by the way?
당연히 지금 당연히
HQ definitely bought us some food.
드래곤엑스에서
Isn't
안
it
샀습니까?
obvious?
킹전에서 안 샀습니까?
일단 접대를 해줘야 되는 걸로.
No, I guess we need to really pay back with
자
a
그러면
meal
한국에
deserved
HQ가
to them as well.
들어왔으니까 오늘 같은
Well, since
경우는
HQ is now here in Korea, maybe it's a good opportunity for you guys to get them a nice food to these guys.
어떻게 그러면 이번 같은 경우에는
now it's-
AHQ에게 맛있는 거를 살 어떤
And it
그런
feels like-
상황인 건지.
Do you feel like you need to buy nice food over to HQ
그래야
now?
되는 거 아닌가요? 가는 게 있으면 오는 게 있고.
저희가 경기 전부터 한 말이 있는데
We
예, 예,
said this
예.
before the game
그냥
started.
HQ한테 이기고 저희가 사주는 걸로.
We told them that HQ, we're gonna beat HQ, then we're gonna buy nice
그런
food. So,
느낌으로
promise kept here.
알겠습니다. 자 일단은 시즌 중반 정도 계속해서
And we are now
가고
reaching
있습니다.
the
이제는
midway
6주차
point
때
of the season.
다시
And
한번 동남아전
guys are now feeling like even the Southeast Asian region isn't
가장 중요한
completely
점은
invincible.
킹전 드래곤X에서
with Kingston
모든
DragonX.
선수들이
And for a couple of players that
1대1
were
실력이
seemingly
많이
a little bit
올라가고 있는
shaken
상황이기도
in the past,
합니다.
but now showing a little
앞으로
bit more
본인
stability.
말고 다른 선수들
Maybe you
충분히
guys want to
1대1에서 성적
talk
많이
about
가져갈 수 있을
what
것 같은지.
the future
그리고
lies await
누가
for Kingston
앞으로
DragonX.
1대1에서 성적을 가장 많이
Especially for a
가져갈 수
1v1.
있는 선수일 것 같은지 한 명만 좀 꼽아봐도
Do
괜찮아요.
you have some one player that you want to mention here?
일단 제 생각에는 긴장하는 점을
I
없앤다면
think if we get less nervous on stage, also our players should be able to do much better here.
가슴을 막 하면서 호 선수 원래 그래요? 성격이 좀
It's
그렇습니다.
Ho,
긴장 많이 하는
the one that
성격이에요.
you're pointing out right now.
아마
Is he always
이러면서
nervous like
긴장
that?
많이 하더라고요.
대회만 오면은 긴장을 많이 하는.
He really
대회만
gets
오면
nervous when we
그
come to
되게 안
the
좋은 거 아닌가요?
competition.
대회만 오면 긴장하는 거? 본인이 좀 가르쳐 주세요. 어떻게
You
하면
can teach him a few things,
좀 해주세요.
Master.
호 형한테.
회식 갖고 제가 참교육해드리겠습니다.
We're gonna go to the food and
알겠습니다.
go to
어쨌든
the restaurant and have a
선수들이
nice talk there
긴장감만
as well.
잘 컨트롤이 된다면 훨씬 더 좋은 성적
So
거두지
hopefully
않을까
we
생각이
get to
들고
see
월드
a better and
파이널에서도
improved
또
Kingston
좋은 성적
DragonX
거둘 수
as
있지
we
않을까
move
생각이
further
듭니다.
into
아직까지
the
갈
season.
길은
But
머니까요. 계속해서
we'll
연습도
see
많이
how
해주시기를
the team
바라도록
improves over
하겠습니다.
time.
자, 저희는
That's
여기서
going to be the
인터뷰
interview
마무리
for them. Of
짓도록
course, Kingston
하겠습니다.
DragonX
결과도
with literally
한번
Expo Master being
보겠습니다.
brutal as he is, literally pulling out the X because he knew that Master Hall was going to play the gold. How brutal is that?
It's brutal, but it's beautiful at the same time. Like, he just took him to school, but we can see the results on the screen. Sandbox beating Kicks, Kingzone DragonX beating AHQ. The two top Korean teams cementing their place at the top of the Korean region with these wins today.
And this table did not look as such for the past 2 days. It's been all about the red side. Southeast Asia complete dominance, 6 games in a row where they have completely schooled out all the Korean teams. And that includes Sandbox and Kingzone. But they come back in the second round of things. Sandbox and Kingzone finally waking up. And now they really show who is boss in the home ground advantage. And Kicks HQ, valiant effort for what they did out. But all the more, Kingzone, especially with the Expo Master, really showing us the true standard of what he represents. Once again, very impressed by him again today.
Yeah, but I got to be impressed by the whole team. Big Daddy as well. Ho taking those 2 games. I mean, that is what really helps Kingzone. But let's take a look at the standings. Kingzone now top of the table, 5-2. Sandbox 4-3. OP Gaming 3-4, and OGN Entus still sitting on a duck at 0-7.
The better 2 teams of Korea are the only ones with the winning records 5-2 and 4-3 respectively for Kingzone and Sandbox, meaning that Southeast Asia no longer have that dominant score lead that we've been accustomed to. AHQ, Bren, Kicks, Chaos 3 literally have the same wins and losses, but only is separated by the S/G. So altogether, Set/Games is the only one separating these 4 very evenly matched squads. So over time, when we're going to get Southeast Asia further into this season, we have no idea who's going to be the best out of that region. It should be once again an exciting proposition.
Yeah, the Japanese region and the SEA region are too close to call. But the one thing we do know is that OGN Entus, they have an absolute mountain to climb to stand a chance at even coming 3rd in that table.
3rd would be an absolute accomplishment in its own, but just playing for pride now. But we're going to get to week 5, where we're going to return next Friday at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. As always, we're going to get to Japan versus Southeast Asia. So Southeast Asia, after losing those last 2 games, is not going to be feeling the best, but they still have a lot of work cut out for them. They need to go all the way to Seoul, Korea once again. Going to be staying right here, and we're going to see these 2 regions clash it off with each other. Japan starting up a game with Ponder Sports and FOB Gaming in the first stage to go up against Bren, Chaos, and Kick. We just said we don't know who the better team out of the 3 is for Southeast Asia. So all the Japanese teams need to be prepared for that one.
Yeah, but the Japanese teams also are really equal with each other. The difference between the Japanese region at 3-2, 3-2, 2-3, 2-3, and then you have the SEA region at 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
They're so ridiculously close. Whatever team wins next week is going to have an advantage over everyone else in their region, and that's going to put them at the top.
And Southeast Asia, meaning that all 4 teams need to put the full concentration on to win as many matches as they can. As next week, we'll probably, as you say, divide up the better matches of the Southeast Asia, and we'll put down the worst team on to the bottom as well. So we are now moving on to the stage where Southeast Asia need to be further separated as to really decide who the better teams are going to be. But against Japan, it is going to be a tough ask for all of them to go up against potentially the 4 best teams that we have in this tournament.
Yeah, but the SEA region this weekend have looked so good that I think SEA might repeat what they did here.
Oh my goodness.
This weekend and go
Call it now.
6-2.
6-2 is what Simon is calling it. You guys need to remember that, because that information will be all abroad next week. That's going to be it for our broadcast for our week. We're going to come back next Friday for Southeast Asian Japan. So please join us then, and we will come back for more Clash Royale.